going to assume that means we are live, and that means welcome back to the Storytime Network. It has not been that long since we last left you, but today it is D&D Day. So, without further ado, hand over to our lovely DM Kaido, who will hopefully let us have some rest.
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, you have to cling on to hope, or else, what's the point? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's
So,
not how these things go, I guess.
Yep.
last we left our heroes with Aldane, the the outrageous paladin,
Hello
Daron,
there.
the isolated rogue, Seamus, the bard, Felix, the painter, because neither of them have weapons yet, and along with the the monk Rua and Prody, the orky boy. After dealing with the uh, words aren't coming, you finally were geared to fight the ancient white dragon Gulwivai, and having dealt with him in a very intense fight, Aldane was given the weapon that was identified to be called Outrage, with some fun abilities. Uh, and yeah, you killed him with the assistance of the Oni Bear coming in from the top rope again.
Coming in with
So
steel
many
chair.
times.
You, yep, you beat Gulwivai, and Aldane's longsword, the +1 longsword, was absorbed, and again was turned into the outrage weapon. Before Gulwivai faded away, you had a talk with him, and he effectively pleaded and begged for you to deal with this problem and make sure it is sorted for good. Although I feel like you guys were going to do that anyway.
We were in fact going to do that anyway.
Well, but yes, you dealt with that. Uh, and then you guys enjoyed a very nice long rest. Uh, Before you left, you made sure to communicate to get another makeshift bridge made so that you could actually leave Coloured Neapol properly without needing to head through the capital. And yeah, where we ended was at the Bloodblade Orc camp, as Darren has decided they want to learn how to deal with what do you call it?
Poisons.
Poisons. Uh, I'm just gonna check for times because I can't remember exactly how long it takes. I think it's like 20 days, but I do want to confirm. Because you will be going into the next month by the time you get back.
Mm-hmm.
As I do not intend to give you guys fast travel means just yet.
Oh no, are there enemies nearby? Is that why we can't fast travel?
Oh, Jesus.
Perhaps.
Oh, by the way, did we level up from this?
No.
Huh.
To be fair, you've not long since leveled up, because leveling to level 6 was what ended up being the thing to, like, go to neutral point.
Hmm.
And, like, not long's happened since Rua got the Moonblade and everything, and he started becoming an active combatant. Yes. It will take you 20 days to get back. Yes, so we'll dive right in, as I imagine. Well, the last bit really was Daron seeing off the shaman, as she wanted to enjoy the rest of her food. I don't know actually. Again, Daron, what does Daron do after talking with the shaman?
I go back to the group and tell them, hey, I'm gonna stick around here for a while.
How long are you planning to stay here?
I'm gonna try and learn some poisons. Get better, train a little bit with these guys.
That didn't answer Aldane's question. Ruh just says.
As long as it takes.
That's very vague.
As long as it takes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
Felix
this is just
leans over to Seamus. I get the feeling he doesn't know either.
that's because Ged doesn't know and would like kind of to answer that question.
I mean, it depends on how well you actually do with the checks. Because
Yeah.
if you take too long, it'll actually just completely cut into your downtime while everyone else gets to do the stuff.
No. I just let
Makes
them know.
sense.
I'll be like, I'll meet up with you guys back in Centralis. I'll check in with Kuro as soon as I can.
You want me to give you the sending stone?
No, in case I get lost or something happens.
I mean, Felix can cast sending himself, so
Yeah, so
if he can afford not to use the stone.
Yeah, we can afford not to have it. You should probably have it since you can't cast sending.
true. Okay.
So I hand the stone over to Dayron.
So that
I
will allow
understand.
you to get 5 sending messages per day to Kurogane.
Okay. And yeah. What are your plans when you get back to Centralis?
I think I'm going to do some training.
Be weary of the weapon, Aldane.
I tuned it, but I'm going to be conservative with it. I think I should invest in another weapon to have on my person just in case as well.
Yeah. I've found it's good to have a backup.
Do you think you
Yes.
can get another longsword of warning? Because that was really helpful.
I don't know if there are any others like it. I will ask around.
Ruh just adds, it's a pretty common magical weapon. And if you can't get a longsword, you can always just have a small dagger. It's not like you need to be tuned to it.
Hmm.
And having
No,
a dagger especially is always useful.
Dairon just points at their person and just like you just notice all the dagger sheaths. Like, yeah, it really is.
I imagine Dairon if out of character. I imagine Dairon if this was like one of those movie scenes where they walk from metal detector. Dairon would be the one who would be pulling knife after knife after knife off their person, and so it was just like
A la
huge
Elizabeth
pile next to
Swan in
them.
Pirates 3.
Yes.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or Aaron from Codex Alera.
Yep.
Yes, so. Ruh just says, well, I intend to go back to dealing with kingly stuff. I mean, I did effectively fuck off for a month after announcing reforms.
You
Yeah,
kinda
not a
did.
great look, Rua.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, it's for them. It's more getting used to what is coming. And of course, if people don't like it enough, it won't pass. I'm not going to force people to do something, but I feel like most people won't be upset that things are being made better for the country.
True.
Well then, should probably rest up and prepare for the journey ahead.
I'll see you guys come as soon as I can. I'll see you guys off in the morning.
All right.
So unless anyone else has anything else to do, we will cut to the next morning. It is let me make a roll actually. A very rainy day. There are dark clouds above as the rain is, quite heavy. So I assume you all get ready, and Daron will see the group off.
Yep.
Brody will
Brody-
also be Brody would also be seeing him off because there's no reason for him to go with them when he's at his home already.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd be
Don't
like,
get background noise on your end.
Oh, sorry.
Brody, why are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
Is there a tent I can? Is there like a loner? Is there a place
Just
where I
stay
can
at
stay?
night. There's more than enough room in my tent, you idiot.
I don't know. If I don't know your situation, maybe you have like studio. I don't know.
His tent's been big enough to fit all 6 of the party.
I know I'm being a dick, but sometimes people want their space. I don't know.
Brody doesn't care. I mean, the thing is, all the tents are open and quite close to each other, so space isn't really a luxury.
Yeah.
The fact that Brody has a tent big enough to fit 6 people just goes to show how much of like a contribution he's now making.
Right.
Yes. So, the rest of the party is at the front gates. It is quite heavy rain, so visibility will be impacted somewhat. But, I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a big issue because everything is flatlands in the area you're in, apart from a few trees and hills here and there. Actually, Mill, Jack, or Dylan, decide which wants to roll a D100 for me.
I'll do it.
Alright, go for it. Oh, okay. Alright then. Interesting. So, yep, unless anyone wants to say something to each other before you split off.
Bye, Darren. Remember, we're
good
only ascending away.
Yep. Same to you guys.
Fare thee well, Dairon.
I'll see you guys soon enough. If not, good luck. I'll hopefully not be dead by the time you guys see me.
I mean, I can always send my grandpa to meet you and escort you the way back.
Yeah. If your grandpa's having to come escort me, something's gone very wrong.
I mean, if he's having to go, it'll definitely be sorted. Or whatever's causing the problem will be definitely killed.
True.
Just don't push yourself.
Doing my best.
Right. And so you split off from the group later on, seeing your friends walk away as you have decided to stay behind for a bit. Just gonna go over what happens with the main party first, and then we'll do you afterwards.
Yeah.
So you can sit tight, grab a drink, eat some food, use the loo, whatever you need to do.
Okay.
I really don't care. Not to be like, I don't care, it's just, relax. So, as the party leaves, yeah, it's weird, because, I mean, hey, it's been a while since, well, not even a while, it's been the first time any of you have not had to have Darren in the group.
How are we doing with the... Actually, no, we don't have a horse and cart, do we?
Nope.
Well, I mean, that's good in one sense, in that, we don't have to corral one of them without Darren's help.
But on
Yeah.
the other hand, it'll make things a bit slower for us.
I mean, you could get a new horse, get one properly started. Wouldn't be too hard. It's just how can you replace the?
I was gonna
the
say, but then we'd have to replace the MVP, and
and
that
that's
would
if
make
you'll
it
ever
sad.
get it back. That'll
Mhm.
maybe if you ever get that back. You don't know what's happened with it.
we believe in it.
I mean, what you believe is irrelevant. I mean, you don't know if the horse is some kind of Tarrasque abomination now,
We'll still love it.
even if it tries to eat you and kill you.
Yes.
Why would you subject the MVP to such an awful fate?
I mean, I know what's happened to it. I know what's happened to a lot of characters in this campaign.
Yeah, you have future knowledge because you created this.
Yeah, can't get any more insight than that. Right, so as you leave, yeah, you are in the rain. It's pretty awkward, just because, like, you know, you don't have a horse and cart to shelter yourselves, so it is a bit cold, and you do have to take more frequent breaks. I would have said, if only just for the time being, just because of, you know, like, not getting pneumonia or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a risk.
I mean, I'd like to think I'd be using Produce Flame to try and keep at least some of us warm.
Yeah, but you're still constantly wet. Unless any of you guys had anything you could use to, like, use as a makeshift umbrella.
Not really.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything either. Yeah. But hey, on the bright side, at least you've got some. Wait, you've got an easy access to refill your water skins.
Hooray.
I mean, hydration is a serious concern.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a thing in Pahala. We will have to be careful about being hydrated, because heat stroke is a thing. Poor Aldane in his heavy armor. But anyway, as you continue along, the rain does last a few days actually, nearly like a week. It's like 5 days into the journey after leaving. By the time that you're actually like, the rain's gone, and then it's clear skies. Yeah, you continue along, and eventually in the distance, you find yourselves at very familiar locations, such as the Split Off. I'm guessing you're not going to Turim's Tower,
Nope.
because there's nothing to do there.
Yeah.
So you're just going straight home, right? No
Mhm.
diversions?
Straight home.
Straight home.
So, as you make your way along, you find yourself at a very familiar place. And I'm going to have to ask you give me a marching order going downwards.
Sigh.
I'll be in the front, as per usual.
Brew would also suggest he could be at the front. And then there. Are you all happy with this?
Yep.
Alright, let me copy paste you guys into the map. As in the distance, before I actually bring you onto the map, if you want, you can give me perception checks, as you see a large commotion ahead.
Oh no.
Brew will also join in.
Oh
help.
jeez.
Wow, you're ready.
Yeah.
Let me try, just to be sure.
Are you doing it, Seamus?
Yes. Sorry.
Well, that was shite.
That's why. I was looking for my character sheet, but I hadn't pulled it up yet.
Nice. So, Seamus and Felix, in the distance, well, everyone can see a large commotion of people, but Seamus and Felix, you see someone very familiar on the
Uh-oh.
other end of the commotion of people who seemingly is being accosted. Well, you would be worried, but then you know who it is. It's Rue's grandpa.
Oh, thank God.
I thought you were going to spring
Oh.
the Black Knight on us again.
Well,
Oh, God.
as
You had to
you
say
come
it.
to, as you come to here,
Oh,
see
yay,
what's
my
going on.
favorite place.
As you see Akura seemingly heading your way, as there is in total 1, 2, what the f- 2 on the next?
A lot.
1, 2,
There's a
3,
lot.
That's a
4,
lot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 people.
Just over 2 dozen.
I'm a killer.
Don't
All
kill
of them
them.
in various armors, all of them looking to pick a bone with the elven hero. You do notice a few of them stick out. You notice there is a Loxodon, a Fire Genasi, a Tiefling, an Orc, and then in the back of the trees there is a Kobold in one of the trees, and then you notice that this Tabaxi who is hiding behind another tree. You see them pretty easily from your angle, and it is around this time in the morning. If you want, you can also listen in before you engage. I'd say Felix and Seamus could easily tell with their perception check
Yeah,
what is being said as well. Just give me a sec to do my line.
it's alright.
So, this is what you hear from the Loxodon at the front as he just says, "Excuse me, sir, but there's a bit of a toll that you have to deal with. I hope you don't mind. We're just making sure that people are safe. And if you want, we can even send some of our men to help escort you where you need to go. How would that be?" And Akura, just nonplussed, is just like, I mean, I'm pretty good to be fair. I've gotten here so far on my own. I can keep going though. And the Loxodon just shakes his head, and his trunk, the elephant man, his trunk just points to Akura and just says, "No, but here's the thing: you still need to pay the toll because we need to make sure that you're not bringing anything dangerous around the land. You get our point, right?"
I am the danger.
And a few of the men just start laughing, or a few of the people anyway, because there is a mix of people in this group. And Akura's just like, I mean, and he just points over here. I could just literally go that way and not have to pass you guys. I mean, I'm on my own. I don't need a carriage to move. And they don't look too impressed. And again, well, this time the tiefling just takes a step forward and says, "Yes, but the thing is, though, is that we're trying to look after the area, and we can't be sure that just you on your own isn't going to bring anything dangerous around." And Akura just says, like, "I didn't even need to deal with fucking customs. I came from down there, just pointing away. I'm trying to head back home. Just leave me alone, please. Why are you bothering me?" And the tiefling's just like, calm down, sir. We're not trying to upset you. It's just, procedures and all that. You know how it is, right? You're clearly a sensible man." And Akira's like, "Not really. Some people would say I'm pretty stupid." And the tiefling's like, "Well, again, it's not too much. It's just a measly 2,000 gold. If you're willing to pay that much, then, you'd be safe."
That's
Did he say a
shakedown.
measly 2,000 gold?
That's a fucking shakedown right there.
Yeah. Definitely killing these motherfuckers.
And you actually watch as he says that with the measly 2,000. You watch as a couple of the grunts start like playing with weapons, as if to give a quote unquote ultimatum.
Are they rolling intimidation or something?
They look like they're trying to scare it, and Akura just is like just stretching and looking like he's having a casual chat with friends. He's just like, and he just says, "Well, you know what? 2,000 is pretty measly. I can agree. I mean, well, I have more than, and he just starts counting on his fingers. Would it be 100 times the amount? No, doesn't. I have more than that much money. But anyway, not the point. I'm not paying the toll, and if you want me to move, well, and he just puts his teeth together, you know, as if like he's clearly straining. We're gonna be at an impasse, aren't we?
Seamus pulls his lute out, or maybe even his shamisen, and kind of leans over to Felix and whispers, I think this is going to be a Freebird moment.
And then the orc just starts walking past and just slams a great axe into the floor and just says, "Look, we are not here to waste time. Either go back the way you came or pay the toll. I will take the money from you."
Brutal.
And
This
Akira
isn't gonna
just...
end well for them.
I agree, Felix! As he just points over to you and waves.
Yeah, he can hear us really easily.
And the moment every one of them looks away down this way, you all watch as the floor around them already begins to look like it's covered in some silver ice. And you watch as the air around has a noticeable chill. Not too similar when Ghoul Levi did his, or at least attempted to do his breath attacks. And Akira's body begins to glow a bright silver along with his eyes. And then he thrusts his hand out and just says, I don't like killing, but I'm going to tell you now. Move, or every single one of you will die immediately, together.
We can corroborate that.
And they just
He is
look...
very lethal.
They do look at Akira and just say, well...
I can't change. Guitar
But
solo
yeah,
start.
they look at him and just say, but he's one guy. Why should we be scared of this fucking loser?
You know his name?
You're all idiots and need to
And
learn
You're all
history.
gonna die and I'm gonna laugh.
And you just watch as Akira, with one hand, just almost as if he's like, just throwing some confetti, as you watch as ice bursts out from his hand in this shape, which I already had prepared, hitting every single one of them. As he casts Cone of Cold. Not at level 1, not at level 5, which is the minimum. Not at level 6, but level 7.
Oof.
Should have done level 9.
Dealing that much.
Yeah.
Which is what in total? That is
39.
39 points of cold damage. So what happens is now
Just
I
rock
can
their
just
shit.
do that. So you watch as, let me just do this. It doesn't let me group images up, which is fine. You watch as in order.
Oh, 16, 17, 18.
As all of them immediately die, as they are impaled and frozen, and just completely obliterated by this jet of incredibly cold air. And the rest, because the thing is, those didn't have the HP to survive. Like, with a DC 20 save, none of them could have passed.
Nice.
Or if they did, they would have had to crit.
Tracks.
All of them needed to crit to do that. So
I hope we
yeah.
never have to fight an enemy that has a DC 20 save.
Not only that, but the rest are very injured. As the orc is actually on a knee. And you'd think that would be it, right? As anyone would. And then Akra starts walking. And he's going to action surge, going for a kick to the face. No, he goes for a kick to the nuts. Why would he do anything else? And just as his foot's about to make contact, he watches his foot is wreathed in fire. As he does that. Why did it already...
Ow.
Oh my god, I forgot Roll20's being shit. Keeps auto rolling for damage stuff. So yeah, he does that much, hitting and immediately incinerating him to death. And then walks over here. Backhands the Loxodon. 22 will hit. Wait, I did the wrong sheet, but that would still hit. Let me just do that instead. Yeah, that's correct. For that much.
Mm-hmm.
And he is dead. And then as Akira is about to go for one last punch, his fist suddenly stops being on fire. And he does... Oh shit. So as he goes for the punch, you watch as the man ducks. As he is about to completely dodge it. Which, lucky him, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd be... Well, exactly. Not lucky because... what happens is as he goes for the punch and the fire genasi is about to duck, you watch as something pulls the genasi into the punch, which makes it a hit, in fact.
Damn.
Which then, let me look for it. Dealing that much and killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Should be expected.
And in the area around his cone as well, it is covered in ice and just spikes of ice as well. And he just waves over to you guys and just says, "Oh, hey, how's it going, by the way?" As I imagine would you approach him?
Yeah.
Yep. Might as well.
I mean, he is a friendly. Yeah. And he just looks at you guys and says, "Oh, is Darren and Brody dead?"
No.
They're at the
They
old
stayed
camp.
back. Yeah.
Oh, why is Darren there?
Studying poisons.
Okay, I guess. Whatever floats the boat. So, how did it go, by the way?
Pretty well, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he looks to your weapon, Aldane. I can feel it from here. Well, if you ever need it to calm down, just send it my way and I'll do it. Free of charge.
Good to know.
God. And he just looks behind at the carnage he's caused, and there's just loads of bloodstains on the floor from the people he's effectively eviscerated in one punch. For the three that did live. I actually came out here because there was bandit troubles in the area. And also I wanted to head home and check on my, home.
Mm.
But hey, it's a good thing I didn't need to come save you guys. Not that I didn't want to, it's just, it's good to know that you could handle it yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan, actually, once you're back home rested?
We're going to rest up. Recover.
And then what?
Not sure yet. We are debating where to go next. If we're going to go after one of the Dracolich pieces or not.
We should probably get that piece in Bovetman. It seems like the easiest to get to, and the least likely to kill us all.
Mm.
Are you sure?
Out of the ones remaining, I feel like it's the least likely to kill us all.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Not trying to scare you guys, it's just, you know, if something seems too good to be true, it usually is, for a reason.
Fair
Also,
enough.
we might have a lead on the Siltadok piece.
Oh, nice.
In
Although,
what...
from what I've heard, from what I've heard, though, dragons don't like them sort weapons of yours, right?
No,
Correct.
it's gonna be interesting.
Well, hey, if there's any troubles, you can always bring me along. I won't help you
Appreciate
fight
it.
the thing, because I
Mm.
don't intend to kill Steel, but you know, if you need anyone who is bothering you, I'm more than happy to get in line and sort them out.
Much appreciated.
It's no trouble. But I won't keep you any longer. I have some children to check up on. Good to see you guys, though.
It's good to see you as
And-
well.
Indeed. And he waves to you and vanishes. Or at least he vanishes 30 feet because he missed his steps. And then, yeah, just starts leaving the area, moving at his supersonic speeds.
Crazy part of me wanted to counterspell that, but yeah.
The troll part of you.
Who says he didn't cast it at a higher level?
Ooh.
That's what I thought now.
I said a crazy part of me, not that I actually wanted to do it.
I mean, it would have been funny, but yeah. So yeah, you see him off as he goes back home for a bit. And you guys continue the rest of your journey, making your way back to Centralis. There you are greeted by a very familiar Triton woman who is handling immigration at the moment at the entrance.
Hi, Tristina.
Oh, dang, you're not dead? I guess I lose a few hundred gold.
Wow.
Wow, ye of little faith.
You were betting
mean,
on your
someone-
king's death?
I mean, no, I was betting on one of you guys to die.
Well,
There was
I don't
tears
know
of
if
the
you noticed, but we are
betting.
missing someone.
I don't know, I feel like if someone was going to die, it'd probably be you, Seamus.
Well, that's fair.
Now, Dairon just stayed behind at the Orc camp to learn some new tricks for poison.
I mean, I could have taught him something, but alright. I mean, it's up. I mean, I'm a ranger, of course I know how to deal with poisons. I mean, I did sometimes have to go on the surface to kill land creatures for food back home. But whatever, I've got a job to do, and I guess you guys have got people to report to.
We should probably go see Kuro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to, do you? And she just, like, smile.
I mean, we don't have to, but it would be, you know, courteous.
Fair. Anyway, have fun. Aye. He is a bit... He does seem a bit on edge at the moment, though, so do be careful with him.
Will do.
So you see Tristina off, and you go to the guard's house. Inside, you do find Kurogane at his office.
What up, Kuro? I'm officially a Dragon Slayer now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, I was technically the one who dealt the killing blow, but yes,
Hey,
we
it's a
are all
team effort,
Dragon
Aldane.
Slayers.
Even the Oni
Yeah,
Bear
I
gets some
know.
credit for that.
Oh yeah, that thing. We never did find out quite what species was, did we?
Yeah, it was helpful.
It was.
Friendly Skinwalker.
You mean you fought it and lived?
Well, we got interrupted by an avalanche, and then it never really tried to fight us again.
Just
It was more
fought all the
interested in
people we were
fighting
fighting.
big things.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe it found you guys too weak.
Or it liked us. But I don't know.
We got the feeling
think
that
it
it
just-
would have wanted to fight us, but it kept, like, interrupting mid-fight.
Like, fight the bigger fish, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the
It
end of
was the
that
bigger
battle, it
fish.
was just like, we're both tired. We'll do this another day.
I would try and kill it if you can.
Well, it's a bit late, so...
I mean, next time you're in the area,
Who
from what I've
says-
heard, it does venture outside the Forbidden Heights.
Who says we're going up there again?
Don't you need to go at least north anyway at some point for them mountains?
Yeah, but not the Forbidden Heights, on the other side.
Okay, fair dues. But anyway, it's been fun. Well, not fun. It's been It's been It's been a happening, I guess. Lots of things have happened since you've left. The nobility are kicking up a fuss.
Naturally.
Shitting, pissing, crying, all that nonsense.
I would expect nothing less.
Quite a few guards have quit. Quite a few guards are upset. Not happy that their funding has been taken away. But I mean, we still have some of our funding, it's just not as much. But, I mean, well, thankfully none of the guards in this district have kicked up a big fuss. But if you guys happen to see Cliff, you know, the Earth Genasi wanker,
Mm-hmm.
do piss him off for me. It's fun seeing him squirm.
Will do.
I mean,
Understood.
you're a master at it, Felix.
He's a master at baiting people.
He's definitely a masturbator. And he says that with a very straight face.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Yeah, he just looks to you guys and says, well, get some rest for now. I'll get a report in the meantime. I'm sure you guys want a break. Although I do have a quick job for you. Not right now. It can be on hold in the next, say, 4 weeks. Well, no. You can have 3 weeks to rest, but by the week afterwards, on the day of the week, I'll need you to come see me.
Alright.
Hopefully Daron's back by then.
Well, he has the
Sure.
Sending Stone, so, you know, you can pester him.
Well, if they need help, if I need help from Daron, then I can always message him, yeah. But it would help if Daron was here, just because, well, it is a bit of a tough task. In fact, it might even be your hardest task you've ever done yet.
Great.
Why do I get the feeling that it's not going to be, like, something that we expect from that kind of talk?
For now, just relax. I'll brief you on it when the time comes. For now, though, I've got business to do, and I know the king also has business to do, don't you, Rua? And Rua responds with a nod and just says, yes, I have to be a king for once. And he just
Yeah,
grimaces.
Rua, I'm surprised you weren't already mobbed about like all the duties that you've neglected for the past few months.
He's fine. I mean, oh no, my council asked he has to put in work. And they're
Right.
forced to, like, leave a backlog of work for me to know what they're doing.
Yeah, well,
And
you,
if
you
they
know
don't-
politicians.
Fuck him.
Exactly. I'm not saying you should feel bad about what that means, but like, yeah, fuck those guys.
I must interject that
Oh,
I
no,
have
I'm
no
see-
desire to actually fuck politicians. I
Oh,
don't
no.
think that's really a good idea.
Oh no, I'm saving the world.
That sounds
I'm
like something
sure-
I should clarify, Jack.
I'm sure finding out that like some wine make is being taxed a bit more and isn't happy that the slaver country is not allowed to do business with us is like so pressing compared to, you know, a fucking big white lizard that could have killed us all.
Mm-hmm.
He just shrugs and like leaves. Yeah, Kuro just once Rue leaves, Kuro just nods and says, "You know where I'll be if you need me, but for now, enjoy some time off." He gives you a smile.
Bye, Kuro. Have fun sleeping with Guy.
Yeah, we're roommates.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What did you think I meant?
He just narrows his eyes at you. He just frowns and then just shakes his head and rolls his eyes. Oh, that reminds me, Felix, you've actually got a letter.
Oh?
Someone claiming to be your dad?
Oh.
You don't seem too impressed. Why? Do you have a bad relationship with your dad or something? I'll take it as a yes.
Felix just I assume Kuro is handing the letter to him.
Yeah, you get a letter
Felix takes
signed
it.
with an S in a very familiar signature.
Felix just tucks it away without reading it.
Yeah. Also, you have a letter here, Seamus.
Oh, who's the letter from?
From one of your fans.
Oh, fan mail.
We had to check the contents because it came with a package. You want the package?
Yes?
I don't think you will once I give it you. And he walks over to one of the shelves in his room in the office and passes you a small, like dark brown wooden box. Seems very well made. Do you look inside?
Yes.
So inside,
Look
you see
inside.
this pendant. There's the pendant basically in the middle is this like this sort of yin yang symbol. The one part of it is coloured red, and the other part is clear. And surrounding it in a circle is this like it's almost like this brown wire, and it's a very familiar colour of brown. And Kuro grimaces as he passes it to you, and you look inside it.
Do I know what it is?
Give me an intelligence check.
Fair enough.
The DC will be fairly easy.
Yeah, can I get advantage on that?
It's fine. It was a pretty easy pass. So, the quote unquote wire is the same color as your hair,
Oh god.
and that red is blood, and that clear color looks like saliva.
I was gonna be very worried if it was more of a milky white.
No. But yeah, and Kuro just says, a very devoted fan who's seen a lot of your performances made that.
That's wild. I'm not touching that thing.
It's yours now. You can do whatever you want with it.
What's the letter say?
The letter is written in this cute, bubbly font, and it just says, "Hi, Seamus. I'm your biggest #1 fan who loves you more than anyone else in the world.
Oh boy.
I've seen
Kill-
all of your shows, music and otherwise, and I can't wait to see more. Us at the Seamus' Schmoes official fan club cannot wait to see what you do next. If you want, we can even work together to help you with organising events for you and do anything else you need, including cooking for you, cleaning for you, or anything else. We just want our favouriteest musician in the world to be happy and healthy. With love, Derek."
God, I knew it was gonna be a dude.
Hey,
Fans
Gotta
are
love
fans.
parasocial relationships. They're not great.
P.S. We know where you live.
that's not
PSS.
ominous at all.
That's not a letter. That's a threat.
flag.
PSS. Just call out to one of us and we will help you at a moment's notice. PSSS. We looked into your background back in Tennoyama, and we could arrange to pick up anything from there to be brought to here at a moment's notice as well.
Oh great, now everybody knows I'm a fucking exile. uh,
Also, you notice as it goes into more P's and S's, the writing's getting a bit more. What
Frantic.
would I say? Yeah,
unhinged.
unhinged. Yes. In fact, the ink seems awfully red once
Oh,
it starts
no.
getting to the PS's, and then you see PSSSS. I ran out of ink. I hope you don't mind. I had to bite my finger and use some blood.
God, what
Oh.
the fuck?
All for you, Seamus, with a heart at the end.
It's not his actual heart, is it?
Anyway,
No,
no,
you
it's a
didn't
love
answer my
heart.
question.
It's a love heart. A very nicely drawn one, which is very uncomfortable to think about. Unfortunately for you, Aldane, no one loves you and no one's written letters for you.
I know this is supposed to be a love letter, but this to me is the exact opposite of a love letter.
Oh, it's frightening. 100%.
I mean, from what
I'm
I can get,
terrified.
I mean, given Felix's reaction and what fucking monstrosity Seamus was sent, probably a good thing you didn't get a letter this time.
Hmm. Damn.
Yes, you are dismissed. You are considered off duty, so have fun. And he
Yep.
just like. And so, we will cut back to Daron in the intervening moments.
Alright.
Hello.
Is it cool if I step away for a hot sec?
Go for it.
Awesome.
So, Daron, every morning you are woken up at 6 in the morning on the dot by the sound of a very angry chicken. Instead of doing the normal noises, it just sounds like it's screaming bloody murder. In fact, if you take the time to find the chicken, it's the most giga chad rooster you've ever seen. It looks more muscular than you.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, you get woken up 6 in the morning every day, and if you, at any point, if you do sleep in, the shamaness personally comes to smack you on the head.
I don't think I sleep in. I just kind of. I'm used to being woken up, and because of, having to be awake at odd
Well,
hours.
Well, it's either that or you hear ah every morning non-stop, and that doesn't stop until half an hour in one continuous breath.
That I'm gonna stab.
You wouldn't be allowed to stab the chicken. In fact, it has 3 security guards on its own.
You are not the first person to try, clearly.
I guess I just do whatever the shaman tells me.
Yeah. So she takes the time and she's quite nice at first. I say at first because by the second day she's a lot more cruel and like she expects you to get it after the first time being told. So I'm going to have to ask you give me I will say 3 nature checks first.
Boy.
Okay. Okay.
Not my day.
Ooh.
It's not my day.
Next, I want you to give me 3 intelligence-based poison kit checks. Finally, some good fucking food. One last one.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
And then I want you to give me 3 survival checks.
None of these are skills Dyron's good at.
Oh.
Finally, some good fucking food.
Oh jeez.
The amount of 7s is really alarming.
That's 2 double-digit numbers out of what? 9 rolls?
Just
And
about.
then let me just check. And then I want you to finally give me 3 medicine checks. So, you want the good news or the bad news?
Let's go with that.
Bad news is, you failed to properly retain most of the information you've been taught. In fact, it's gotten to a point where every time you're walking at the end of the day back to the tent of produce, you're getting laughed at quite a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
In fact, it gets to the point where by the 3rd week, by close to the 3rd week, it would be that you would be training. People are starting to gather a crowd just to watch you. Unfortunately, with the nature checks, you struggle to properly pay attention and understand which are the good mushrooms and which are the bad mushroom, along with berries and any other sorts of things. In fact, at one point, you'll swear this berry mix you're supposed to do for your, like, lunch is, you know, the edible kind. You try one of it, and then you end up suffering from food poisoning. It's like that bad, unfortunately. Poisonous kit. By the 1st week, you are struggling a lot. This lady is giving you some very esoteric methods, and it's for some of the stuff it seems almost counterintuitive what you're trying to do. But by the 2nd week, you at least get handheld enough that you have a rough idea of what you're doing. But unfortunately, you end up using so much materials that it doesn't help by the 3rd week. With survival, during this time, you're also asked to look for materials that you could use to make poisons with. For the 1st and last week, you struggle a shit ton. It doesn't help that the weather's not great. Creatures that you're looking to harvest stuff from are just escaping you. And it seems again on the 2nd week has been your best moment. For medicine, this is mostly to discern actually applying some of this. the stuff what you're using on creatures. For the first and third week, this is mostly test samples that you're given, so you can understand how they work, and so you can understand so you can be like, oh, these combination of things do this result, and so on. But unfortunately, for the second week, you're so busy putting into practice the samples that you're given and the stuff what you've actually been doing well with, you actually don't have time to really put into practice what you've got. So it's a very mixed bag. Mostly not good. And by the third week, which would be by the time the party's even starting their first bit of downtime, it's not looking great, I'm afraid. In total, I would say, given the average, you haven't been able to make much headway with learning how to use orcish poisons, unless you wanted to spend more time. And if you spent more time, the DCs would be lower for the checks. But given the success so far and the fact that you don't have much positive modifiers, it's up to you what you want to do.
Can we cut back to me for a bit? I need to think about this.
Right. So, for now, who between the three of you guys, the other party members, has what they want to do for downtime in mind?
Well, this letter has rather sort of changed my mind, so probably Aldain should go first.
Wow.
Like,
Right, Jack.
I feel like you're the one who's got the solidest idea of what they want to do.
Probably. So I think I'll start by going out and looking for a sword and/or dagger of warding.
Aye. So, you look around. Give me investigation.
Which I'm newly efficient at. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also something else I'd like to look into while I'm at it.
Okay. Depending on your results, depends on how feasible.
Mother fudger.
So it takes a while for you to find a really good place. Unfortunately, with the seasons changing, things are a bit busy. Having lost Black Rain as an export source has hit quite a few businesses. As you know, because Black Rain was actually ordering quite a few things, including weapons. And you would think, well, this means there's more to stock. Well, the thing is that other countries are now looking to get these weapons. Pahala especially is ordering a lot of weapons from Centralis, considering what's happening at the southwest with the Mummy Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And so it takes you at least 1 week, I would say, to come up with... You do eventually find a place that will sell you, that can get you some weapons, but that would cut partway into the second week. So the DC for anything else for the second week will be a bit shaky.
Okay. Yeah, so do I find the store with the weapons or not?
You do find a store, but a lot of their what would you call it? A lot of shops are actually having to be more careful with selling magical equipment, only because they don't want to sell outright dangerous weapons, because of there being reports of saboteurs and spies in the country and in the city.
Mm.
And they don't want to unintentionally supply an enemy with, material, with equipment.
Yeah, I can see that.
You do find a place, but you would have to order something off them. I'm also just going to change the music in the meantime. So what is the other thing you do?
I'll order a Sword of Warning.
So, Sword of Warning, let me have a gander. Because it's a weapon, it will actually cost more than it normally would at the moment. But that's fine.
I'd like to see if I could haggle with my position and as both an adventurer and friend of the guard.
I mean, you can give it a try. Give me a what do you call it now?
Persuasion.
Check.
Look at the aristocrat,
Persuasion.
bloody using his position.
I know.
Awful.
I have a plus 10 to persuasion.
Still only got 15.
Yeah. And that's on a bad roll, though.
Does it matter if the bad roll is what you got?
Hmm.
So it's considered uncommon, which at most would be 500. So the shop is willing to sell it normally for 350 gold. And with
I
your
don't have-
persuasion check, they are willing to lower it down to 275.
I will take that.
But they will not budge. The thing is, they'll have to order that and actually make it for you. So they'll have to wait at least a week.
Shall I pay the commission price up half the price up front and pay the other half of the price when I pick it up?
It's up to you. They're not really. You can either pay when it's made, and if you don't, then it'll probably be sent off to someone else who actually will buy it there and then. You could pay it all at now, and guarantee you can get it there and then, or you can pay half first and then half later. But if someone else steals the item, like buys it out, you'd be reimbursed for the half that you spent trying to keep it.
Alright, I'll just pay all of it up front then.
Right, take out 275, and you will have a weapon of warning earmarked for you. Longsword?
Yes.
Alright. What do you plan to do with the rest of your time off? As you have a full week and then kind of like 4/5 of a week. Like you've lost about a day and a half.
Did we get anything for completing the dragon mission, or did we just not get any money from that?
It wasn't an official quest, it was something you were doing on your own time, really.
Wonderful.
That counts as our hobby.
I guess so.
Saving the world, the hobby of the geniuses.
If you wanted to, you would probably have to look to coordinate a poll to actually get you some reward.
I mean, you can try and get in contact with the Byaku and see if it'll pay you.
It
wouldn't.
won't.
It threw Aldane a massive bone with helping him in some fights.
No, I'm fully aware that it's not going to help. I'm just,
Sticking around.
Yes. I have to get my
Okay,
dicking
then.
around in now because my turn is probably not going to be as fun.
Alright. Aldean is pretty broke right now,
You could do some
but he's
work.
going to spend the remainder of the second week spending time with his family and Oriana.
Cringe. No.
And of course, Zaris.
Do you want to roleplay this out?
Up to you.
I mean, you're the player, so you're downtime.
Sure, I can roleplay out some of it at least.
Alright, so who do you want to spend time with first?
Let's spend time with Oriana first. I haven't seen her in a while.
So, you go to visit her, and she is not willing That makes it sound like it's a bit weird. But she
Yeah.
does spend some time with you. And yeah, she meets you at the door to her home and just says, "Oh, Aldane, it's so good to see you again. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too.
You were gone for like nearly 2 months.
It was a long journey, both there and back.
Are you alright? I mean, you're clearly alive. I just mean, you know."
It was a rough time, but I and the rest of us made it out on the other side all right. So I'll take that as a win.
That's good to hear. But yeah, it's been a bit tense here. A lot of these potential reforms coming in. I mean, the general
Mm-hmm.
people are happy with it, but the nobles are furious. I don't know if you've heard a few of the guards have quit.
Yeah,
Few,
that
few of
tracks.
them have already looked to taking up banditry. At one
We
point, some
actually,
of them are even taking up doing a toll at the entrance, like outside the city.
we actually saw some jackasses trying to exact a toll on our way back. Unfortunately, they were trying
Oh,
to extract a toll from Akura, so that ended about as well as you'd expect.
he just puts a hand on her chest, looking quite worried. And oh god, such a shame that what in theory should be decent people are resorting to such lengths.
Indeed. Hmm.
You didn't get hurt, did you?
Uh, Nothing that couldn't be recovered from.
That's good. But yeah, my dad's been quite tired lately. He's been having
I
to
can,
argue with some of the council, and in fact, a couple of them have even quit.
unsurprising.
We've currently lost the Minister of Health and the Minister of Agriculture.
Oh, that's not good. We need those.
I mean, we've got temporary spaces being that of people taking the spaces up. It's just,
Hmm.
well, a few of them have quit, and a few of the people who are currently still working are looking at quitting, or it's not great, but I don't know.
We can make do. I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's more than happy to still keep working. He's got no issues with it all.
That's good.
And Arthur himself has been causing some waves in the city. Literally at one point.
Oh, yeah, that tracks.
Well, thankfully, the crime in the higher tier districts has dropped by 75%.
Hmm.
As a consequence, the jails are now overfilled.
Well then, that's interesting.
Well, it's because within the first week of Akra being here, he already dealt with about 60% of that 75.
Hmm. That
Also,
tracks.
a lot of property damage has been accrued. About 15 buildings have been destroyed as a result.
That
Now,
also tracks with what I know of Akura.
I mean, to be fair, I did actually see him at one point dealing with some of the criminals, and they were deliberately destroying buildings to distract him.
Hmm.
It turns out, though, when someone at his normal movement speed is still at half, faster than most of us,
Yeah, they don't stand a chance, unfortunately for them.
just purses the lips and shakes her head. But a lot of people are happy he's here, and, well, the morale in the country's taken a massive rise. People are happy knowing an old hero's come back from nowhere.
Does make for a good boost to morale, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Do you know what happened with that big pillar of light that happened, like, while you were gone?
That was us.
Oh, of course it was. Ugh, well, that's been causing some problems as well. After that green pillar of light, and then this white one, people are worried that more things are gonna happen.
No, that was from us slaying a dragon.
Of course it was.
Is that an exasperated, of course it was, or a non-believing, of course it was?
I mean, you're not there, so you can't insight her.
Yeah, what was the tone there? I'd like to know.
Insight.
Such insights. Damn it.
You
I'm not rolling well
aren't.
today.
You aren't terribly sure. From what you can tell, it's not negative, but it doesn't seem exactly positive. It's very vague. From what you can tell, anyway. You aren't. You can't really be sure.
Not all day, and you're rolling terribly today? Let me. Really?
Fuck you,
I'm
Ken.
not. I'm very salty.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not see. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, as you're spending time with her, though, she does seem a lot livelier than lately. It does help, though, that the mood of the city is quite livelier anyway. Like, a lot of people seem to be more... just alive, I guess you could say. It probably helps knowing that, you know, Akura's back, Rua's taking a big step forward, you guys are about...
Yeah. This is gonna be a long, long few months ahead of us.
What are your plans after you are done in Centralis for a bit?
Crew apparently has a mission for us, so we're probably going to be doing that next.
Fair enough, but what happens after that, if it's not too long?
If it's not too long, it's likely that we're going to go on another mission for one of the Dracolich pieces that we've been hunting.
Well, I've heard Tenoyama's already made their inquiry into Black Rain with this group.
We're debating between Bovetman, Tenoyama, or Black Rain next.
Hmm. I mean, you could always sign yourselves up for the inquiry. If you're needing to deal with these things, you could always at least find the Dracolich piece there.
Hmm,
And hey, if you can't beat it, at least you know where it is.
true. Thank you.
And you'd also deal with the inquiry at the same time.
You're not wrong.
You're at
there.
least killing one bird with a stone and knocking out the other.
True enough. Well, enough about that. Enough about me. How have things been going with you specifically?
I've been doing my magic stuff. Terum's been teaching me, actually.
Oh, interesting.
They've been pretty busy. The Mage College is looking to try and hire them to be an instructor, but they refuse to do so.
Yeah, Term's not a fan of large groups of people, and the classroom doesn't seem exactly ideal for keeping the numbers down.
No, it's not been great. As you're probably talking or walking with Oriana, you actually get bumped into someone. Enough to the point where you're the one stumbling. And you just
the
hear
individual.
you just hear a female's voice think, "Oh, sorry, my darling, I didn't mean to do that. My apologies." And she just gives you a smile before walking away.
Insight. Damn it!
So you look at her and you recognize her from somewhere. And from what you can vaguely tell, she seems to be in a bit of a hurry.
Hold on.
This woman is wearing a cloak, covering a lot of her features. And she's already, like, starting to... not make a beeline, but she's race walking away from you.
Hold
If you
on.
want, you can give me an intelligence check to recognize her.
I'll do that. God fucking damn it! What is with my rolls today?
Aldena's a
look again.
himbo.
Look again.
I saw again, and I'm not doing much better, if at all.
Good thing this was these weren't the rolls from last session. You'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
We'd be fucked. We'd be
You would-
utterly fucked.
You would need new characters.
You don't know. She was too fast for you. You could try following her and chasing her.
That might be the best option.
Alright, well, you have to pretty much you just have to book it to her. You're actually having to, like, shove a few people in the crowds to get through. She's schmoving. It's honestly surprising because she didn't seem to be, like, necessarily very, what's the word you could say?
Fragile?
That's the thing. She doesn't seem very, like, strong. And yet she fucking made you stumble.
Mm.
You do notice, though, seemingly this person is, like, managing to weave in between the crowd very well. It's almost like a liquid. She's not actually, like, liquidizing herself, but it's like she's just weaving in between crowds. In fact, you'll have to give me a perception check to make sure you don't lose her.
Please let this not be a terrible roll. Oh my god.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to make a roll. I won't immediately say you lose her, but you lose her.
God fucking damn it! Why are the dice hating me so much today?
Because you did
Dice
well
have just
last
been
time.
Yeah, the dice
Honestly,
are hating us all.
Honestly, this is going to be so fun with what comes up later.
You say that, but the one roll I've done so far, I got a nat 20, so...
Yeah, I mean,
that was one.
you've leached the good luck today at the moment. You and Seamus.
You monsters.
The
You've doomed us.
creatives are stealing all of the goodness.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, you lose the woman as she disappears amongst the crowds. And Oriana just eventually catches up, panting. Just... Why were you chasing that? What were you doing? Why did you run away?
That woman staggered me by bumping into me. I thought I recognized her, but I couldn't get a good look at her face.
Well, that's not
I don't know.
helpful. Did you get any features of her?
No, she had a cloak on. And she was moving too quickly for me to get a look behind it.
Oh god. I mean, if you of our people are stumbling, she must be really strong.
Exactly.
You don't think she was a spy, do you?
I would hope not. On a hunch, I decided to check my purse and see if anything got stolen when she bumped into me.
Investigation.
Oh, now I get a good roll.
It's like the most unimportant role you've done today. As far as you can tell, everything is still there. Nothing seems to have been disturbed. It does seem like she just genuinely bumped into you.
Well, at least she didn't try to pickpocket me or anything. Seems like she just bumped into me while she was in a hurry. Still, it's concerning that someone like that is here and we don't know about them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring it up with my dad and see if we can put any feelers out for her.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, otherwise though, you continue the rest of your day, the rest of your time with her, pretty, fine. You don't happen to see this mystery woman again though for the remainder of the week, I'll just say that. Unless you want to spend time
Unsurprising.
looking for her.
Hmm. I'll try investigating in my off time, and I might spend some time during this
I-
third week too.
I'm gonna say I'd suggest that you would have to commit time to it.
Ah,
I'd say you could put up the rest of the second half of the second week to
okay.
basically spend time looking for her. The
Yeah.
DC would be awkward because you don't have a full week, but it would at least help make the next roll for the full week, the last week easier if you wanted to do that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Give me 2 investigation checks, my dude.
Damn.
So, turns out a woman in a black cloak is not a very good descriptor.
I figured as much.
Even Cammy is a bit stumped, and she's normally good with finding vagaries. You do spend a lot of time looking though, and unfortunately, you don't come up with anything. I'm afraid. Sorry about that, mate. It just seems like this. It seems like today is a very unlucky day for the party. Right,
Yeah.
Seamus, Felix. Who wants to go next?
Well, at the very least, one of my activities sort of relies on whether Darren is there or not, because I was gonna,
Oh.
invite everyone to the spa.
Hmm.
Ooh. I wanted to ask, out of character, would Seamus be able to do any kind of combat training to perhaps increase proficiency at all, or is that not really a thing to do in downtime?
In what way?
Well, because I've noticed that whenever I do use the rapier, although it is rarely, I almost never hit, and I almost never do more than like 5 points of damage.
Are you proficient with a rapier? You're a bard,
Yeah,
aren't you? So you
yeah.
should.
I should be.
Unfortunately,
So I don't.
Unfortunately, increasing your proficiency only happens through level ups.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I'd ask just in case.
The only other thing would be is like,
Well, finding like a +1 rapier.
yeah, or I don't know really.
Oh, did I get my longsword a warning, by the way?
By the third week, you would have gotten it. You'd have been sent it.
Awesome.
Hido.
Again.
Would it be possible for Dyra to do I guess some work for the clan, just to work with alongside Brody or something, or
I mean, so I would say by the third week of you doing that would be at the same time as the rest of the party doing their first week.
okay, and I would need to start getting back to.
Yeah, you'd have to spend the next few days getting back.
I forget, do magic swords do a +1 damage, or is it just +1 on the attack rolls?
Weapon of Warning does nothing special apart from making you have be immune to surprise. It's a magic weapon, so it ignores resistances, but that's it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, unless you wanted to spend more time though, Dayron, if you spent any longer, you would actually potentially miss out on stuff. And the party would either have to wait for you, which, can happen, or they would just have to leave you.
All right, then I'll I'll start heading back.
So you let them know that you're going to be going back?
Yep.
So the moment you let them know, they actually just say, Akra will pick you up and he'll meet you there.
Okay.
And it's scary just how fast he gets there. Because he's literally you only have to wait a day because I assume you would have let them know in advance that you would be heading back.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, by the time you need to head back within those last 2 weeks, Akra's already there to meet you.
What was the name he gave us initially?
Tai Chi.
Hello, Master Tai Chi.
It's... He just frowns at you. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
You
I
know my
like being.
name.
I'm being a dick. Don't mind me.
Okay. Anyway. And you actually get there in time. Because Akira basically lets you rest when you need to. And doesn't wake you up for watches.
I think, like, whenever Darren gets a chance, they'll just like, kind of just.
You'd be allowed
go
to talk
through-
to him if you wanted.
I ask him about the weapon, like how to, like the weapons, and just like, and also
I
just
mean,
like,
I have dealt with Dracolich before.
mm,
Years ago, before Cordis was called Cordis, and I was part of the Wildcards. We dealt, I think, it might have been told in history classes. I really don't know how.
I didn't
what
really
people
attend
have taught of
school,
me.
so
Well, we dealt with these human supremacists called the Iron Guard.
mm,
They were effectively forming a base, and they were looking to revive a dead dragon and give it necromantic power. We thwarted it. But yeah, that was also how I learned about Dracoliches. I haven't fought one, but I know quite a bit about them. Typically, they just become a lich the same way as anyone would. Usually, most people will like sacrifice people, usually, or sacrifice something of themselves for power. But there is such a thing as an archlich.
that's
An
that sounds
arch
not great.
Well, an archlich is effectively an even stronger version of a lich in exchange for not having sacrificed something and taking the easy route.
Okay.
Typically, archliches can have the capacity to be good as well.
Oh, okay.
Because being a lich doesn't necessarily mean you're evil. It's just that the easy way is to do something evil for the power.
Right. Akira, tell me about
Okay.
the do you the I can't remember her name, the Air Genasi.
Oh, Tempest, that bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a prodigy. Back at my temple. They were the youngest person to have ever completed a pilgrimage, and came back in a good time as well. They were considered to be the next favorite for running the monastery and being the next master. They didn't like me though. They kept reminding me I had dead parents, and were considered called no child and stuff like that.
That's not great.
I didn't really care. I mean, like, they were also an orphan, so like, I feel like it was mostly just projection. But yeah, she also didn't like the fact that my master was made. Not that I was the master's favorite, but the master was kind to me, and they felt like that was attention they deserved.
Is there any way to figure out where they were before they passed?
His eyes just widen as he thinks.
Just
I do know of
on
a
the
thing.
off chance.
I know of a thing, a technique. It's very esoteric, but basically, if you can bring one of their descendants and do a ritual with someone who's a master of manipulating time magic, you could effectively let that person and other people involved peer into their memories. You would need a specific point, not in time, but a specific thing you want to know for that occasion. Which in this case would be the last moments. In that instance, you would see through their eyes The only problem is that you can brush too close against the person, and it's possible their presence would overwhelm you and potentially consume you, effectively making you them while still being yourself, if you get what I mean.
Not really, but sure.
Think of it this way: if River or myself wanted to peer into my son's memories, provided he's dead, we would be able to know, say, what he did during the war against humans. But if we were to be too close to the grain, like, it could potentially be that we not become him, but his personality would overwrite ours.
I see.
Think of it like how
The
think
Dracolich
it
overrode the White Dragon and Flora.
I mean, I was just going to say, think of it like mixing drinks. Pour too much of one drink into another, and it becomes more of that than another.
Right, that makes sense.
But again,
Thank you.
it's a ritual I have no clue about, and unfortunately, my expertise of magic is nature and planar magic.
That's fine. I was just curious. I figured it'd be worth looking into.
Otherwise, I would say you'd have to find where Tempest lived before they died. And if you are related to them, well, it's possible they might have lived in Bovetment before their death.
Yeah. It's odd to me that that would be the case. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I never pegged them to want to live in Bovetment.
Exactly. Nothing you said has pointed me in
Well-
that direction.
Well, Tempest was always quite vain, and Bovetment is got a bit of a warrior culture to it, so
Eh,
maybe she went there to hone her skills. After all, she did effectively leave after I beat her within an inch of her life. She didn't like the fact that I effectively revolutionized the way of the four elements. It turns out you can get more output while using less resources. And it turns out the masters had been training all of us wrong from the beginning. And then I found out the reason why, and it was because our way was effectively outlawed, and we were forced to limit ourselves. And then, me not knowing, effectively accessed the true powers of it, making me a criminal for a bit.
that must have been a time.
I mean, I could cast fireballs for fun and cone of cold at that point.
Yeah, fair.
Law enforcement didn't really want to tangle with me, and I don't like hurting people. Honest, I just
I believe you. Don't worry.
good, or else. And he just leans in with an ominous aura before bursting into laughter. But no, just yeah. Honestly, I wish I could have ended on better terms with Tempest, but our personalities are too similar, I guess you could say. We're both very proud, but she
Yeah.
devolved into hubris, whereas I'd like to think, learned to channel my pride into more respectable means. And she wanted to be strong for the sake of being strong. I wanted to be strong for the sake of others. I mean, the reason I call myself Akra Everray is because it means warrior of the people in Elvish.
I see.
I mean, Rua's name means star of the people.
I think that's
Ah.
really.
Hmm?
I think that's really it.
Fair. So we'll cut back to the others. Seamus, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep it simple. I think I'm just gonna write songs and play music the whole downtime.
Give me. Are you doing this for the entirety of it?
How much downtime do we have again?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I'll do it for the entire 3 weeks.
Give me 3 intelligence checks and 3 performance checks.
Oh my god.
This is becoming a consistent theme.
That's better.
There we go. It's that. So at first, the problem is you're trying to write music, but like the muse of the White Dragon sort of not already left you, but you feel like you've already made your best material from it.
Mm.
And then you woke up one morning by the second week and had a flash of inspiration, and actually came up with a pretty good banger of a couple of verses.
Nice.
By the third week, you've lost that steam, and you feel like you've hit a bit of a wall with what you can write for the Colonia Pole section of the story. With your performance checks, though, you are getting a good idea of how you want the pacing to flow. It was a bit awkward at first. Like, you were doing pretty well in the first week anyway, but you started really hitting your stride in how you wanted to sort of not only pace the music, but how you wanted the lyrics to flow and blend together with the story
The
you're trying to
rhythms
make.
and everything.
Yeah. Because, like, if you were to complete this story of all the 7 parts, this would be like the kind of stuff that history schools would teach and analyze.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are a law bard, which to me means you're writing history, really, in the form of music. And so this
Call me
epic
acoustic
ballad,
sabaton.
yeah, and this sort of music you're trying to tell would potentially be like considered an epic. Like, this might not necessarily be your magnum opus, but this would be the thing that really takes your career off.
Yeah. My magnum opus will come up at some point, though.
I mean, there's always the Cult of the Tarrasque. That could be your magnum opus.
It could possibly be, but we'll see. I don't think that series is done yet in terms of the story that I could write about.
Well, you've done pretty well, though. Finally, Felix, what are you doing?
So first week is devoted solely to painting and ignoring the letter. To the point where Felix only stops to eat and sleep. Well, eat and trance.
Oh no.
And he's still trying to, paint that the ancient white dragon, basically.
Yeah. So give me painter's checks then.
How many?
Are you doing this for the entirety of the 3 weeks?
No, this is just for the first week.
If it's for the first week, give me 1 then. It's going pretty well, to be fair. Despite everything, you're managing to tune out the distractions and you're doing very well. Although you feel like something's missing. You can't tell what. What do you do for the rest of the time then?
So, start of the second week, Felix finally opens the letter.
Right. So this is pretty much what you get in the letter. And it reads as this, in a very familiar handwriting. Dear Kiseki, it does me a great joy to know that you are hardworking despite having run away from our home. The Peak Soul has spoken glowingly about your progress. His pride in you as a fellow countryman speaks volumes of the determination and sacrifice you've made. While I do not condone the life you have set upon yourself, in spite of that, I cannot besmirch you. We would appreciate it if you returned home at some point, however, so we could properly speak. However, I do not care when, as long as you are alive and not in pieces when you do return. Me and the other members of the general populace haven't been told the exact specifics of your mission, but we know you are hard at work, along with another fellow countryman. I believe his name is Seamus, from the Akahane area, along with the King of Cordis and his grandfather, and from what I've heard, a Paladin of Centralis, and I believe they were known as a investigator from Bovetmont. You seem to have found yourself a very eclectic mix of people in very high places, however. So I do hope that you can at least make a name of yourself and stand out of distinction, and not squander what potential you do have.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Sounds like a great guy.
Sakimi does miss you, however, and she personally especially would like to see you sooner rather than later, however. But we are strong, knowing that you are at least alive. Please send us a reply at your earliest convenience. And then is the signature of your father, Chitora.
Well, that letter makes him sound like not such a bad guy, out of character.
That's what they all say.
Felix burns the letter.
Oh boy,
Mm,
that kind of day, huh?
mm.
Does Felix change season?
Yes, I'm just trying to decide which season.
Autumn.
Yes, he's very content with his decision to burn the letter. No, it is.
Summer, probably.
Yeah, it's summer.
So that's not really a full week thing.
No, so
You don't use a word a day.
Felix Felix tries to find a ration.
Not very hard. You can just find him at your local mahjong parlor, cheating people out.
That's exactly where Felix wants to be, frankly.
So yeah, you find yourself at the mahjong parlor. Ration is raking in some prizes with a grin. You see him hold a bag of, not like a big bag, probably like like as big as his fist, which for a turtle man is pretty big considering. But yeah, and he just gives you a grin. Ah, Felix, it's good to see you again. Ready for some fun times at mahjong?
I don't care about fun. I just need to take my mind off something.
Now, hey, there's no point in playing mahjong with a bad mind like that, especially when I'm going to beat you and take your money and your time. And he gives you a playful wink.
Felix ignores this and just starts setting up his tiles.
Oh! And a few of the people actually start watching, taking note of you, and are like, eager. Give me a mahjong check, my boy, based on whatever mental stat you would prefer.
I've
Again?
got it down as intelligence as usual.
Yeah, because that usually relies on actual game knowledge.
Felix is also watching for rations cheating, so.
Give me a perception check as you do mahjong.
Oh shit. There's
So-
my bad rolls.
Unfortunately, you're too busy getting clapped hard. But you notice Ration is breezing through and clearly not cheating. And he just shakes his head at you. What's in your mind, Felix?
Nothing I wish to talk about right now.
Well, I'm gonna keep asking if you're gonna keep giving me free wins. I like having a bit of a challenge.
Felix just sets up his tiles again.
Give me another mahjong check.
And another perception just to make sure Ration's not cheating.
That one, that one, that one. There you go.
Nope.
That one's better. That's
So
good
you
on the
feel a
perception
bit-
side.
It's definitely much stronger. I just need to actually do the roll for Ration. What's his mod again? It is that. And he beats you again. But this time it's a lot closer. And he just slowly nods. There you go. There's the challenge I'm looking for. It's no fun having easy victories. You sure you still don't want to talk about it though?
Certain.
Okay. No need to bite my head off. If do you want to go again?
Yep.
Give me another mahjong and perception check. So again, he's actually playing completely legit,
Mm.
and he's clapping you hard this time. It's not as embarrassing as the first time, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And actually, quite a few of the members of the crowd are actually just losing interest and continuing with their games. And Ration just shakes his head and gets up. Time for me to actually show that I'm on duty, like I am, like I've been for the last hour and a half. I'll see you around.
Goodbye.
Come back when you're feeling a bit better. And he just left there.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are willing to play with you, but yeah.
Felix
keep playing?
Felix spends the rest of that week at the Mahjong parlor.
Give me 2 mahjong checks then. Honestly, the first week is rough. The first week of doing this, I mean. It's not really great. You actually lose a lot more games than you win.
Mm.
And Ration isn't there the entire time. By the third week? Not the third week, by the third... Because is it the entire time you're doing this for, or just this week?
Just this week.
So, on the latter half of the week, it's much better. You do win more games than you lose this time, but again, you feel like something's missing.
How much money did I win/lose, by the way?
So, you lost. Now, I actually do need to do this, check something, because this is based on a percentage. How much were you willing to bet?
A destructive amount?
Oh, okay then. I'll be using the D20 for this then. You actually lose 1,500 gold.
Fucking hell.
And in the end, you gain back about 250 gold.
Alright.
Yeah, there you go. What do you do for the final week, my dude?
Dyron is back in Centralis by now, right?
I'd have said Darren would be back by the end of the holiday that you've really had this time off.
Okay, so, like,
Unfortunately, you can't get Darren for the spa.
Okay. Then, especially considering Felix is really not in the mood for spa, he's going to hold off anyway. And he's just going to paint out his feelings instead.
Give me 2 painters checks then. So your first bit is very good, or at least in terms of quality. It's very passionate. You're definitely managing to, put your feelings into your work. But then the feeling sort of starts to wane by the second half of the week, and it starts just feeling empty by the latter half. Like, it keeps feeling like you're about to meet the hurdle, but you keep tripping up at the last push. It's unfortunately, at first it was productive, and then it sort of snowballed.
Yeah, that's about my time spent then.
Yeah. So we're going to go on a quick break because we've been at this for 2 hours.
Cool.
And then we will get into Kurogane's job, and I'm also going to change the music when I get back.
Alright.
All right.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. So just as a note, in terms of Felix and his dad's relationship, I see it sort of similar to the Todorokis.
Got you. Valid.
So I would say Felix is somewhere between Shoto and Natsuo.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's looking very likely that we'll be playing more Psychonauts 2 on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can make it, but it's hard to say. I'm finally in the third act of that game, and it's so good. My God.
I'm really looking forward to it. It is such a fun game.
Have you gone any further?
No, just been playing it on stream, so only at the point we left off.
Okay. I think you'll really like this next bit because it's actually fantastic.
In terms of what video games I've been playing, certainly over the last few days, I've been playing the Tome game that got released.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think Thursday, Friday, something like that. That's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's a little weird because they recast most of the main character, well, all of the main characters, but so some of the voices seem a bit weird compared to the show on YouTube, but it's still been fun.
What did you think of Hollis' hot streak in terms of just like level design compared to the first games? Bill.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put my thoughts together. So it was definitely interesting. I did like how it obviously used the new mental connections mechanic. So that did make it a really interesting, a definite change from the others as well.
Like you definitely felt like more, like there was just more motion and more dynamic.
Definitely. I mean, just in general terms, like, even if I did struggle with some aspects of the platforming, it was certainly a lot easier to do than some of the harder levels in 1.
Mm-hmm.
God, the fucking meat circus, jeez.
Yeah, the meat circus is everyone's least favorite level from 1. So
I actually watched after I finished our playthrough on the channel, I watched Lanny from Team 4 Star play it as well, and he was so mad at the meat circus.
yeah, it's like one of those levels where you're just like, either this works or it really doesn't.
Yeah. I was also slightly annoyed at how easily he got through the fucking like rail slide bit of that level,
Oh
considering
yeah,
how often I failed at it. But then he did really badly at the outracing the water bit. Which I think I
Seems
managed
like
to
it
do pretty easily.
seems like it's the kind of level that has something for everyone to hate.
Yep.
yeah. It's like easily the worst level in that game.
Not to mention, there's just an aspect of, I know it's basically, you know, an element of its age of a 2005 game, but it's not the most
Right.
intuitive of games at times.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm having the exact same problem with Kingdom Hearts 1, in that, like, I'm so used to being told at least where I have to go.
Yeah, it's just like you realize like, oh, this is not normal for the games, for these types of games anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, I prefer just having, you know, a solid location of where I need to go. Even if there's, like, a bit where, you know, I have to figure out how to get exactly where I'm going, like, that's fine, but not having a location at all, and especially a game like Kingdom Hearts, where if you go into a building and come out, the enemies fucking respawn.
Right.
I mean, I left it at, I think, Agrabah, and I was just so, like, tired of it, and it's A, not great platforming, B, not amazing combat system, and C, no idea of where I was supposed to be fucking going.
Yeah. Agrabah's the worst. Agrabah and Monster are like really bad. But
Yep.
yeah,
So,
I do
so,
think Psychonauts 2 is going to be a really good time for you.
No, I'm already enjoying it immensely.
so who's here right now?
I am.
I am as well. I think we're just waiting on Dylan then.
Alright. It's all good.
In terms of the Shonen Jump chapters from today, we might have finally gotten confirmation that Kaido is an ogre.
I am?
That makes sense.
Apparently,
Kaido,
you are.
not Kaito.
Kaido.
I was taking the piss.
I know, but I was just making sure. Yeah, because it's used a lot in the most recent chapter, so it seems a
Yeah.
fairly good bet, especially considering his design.
Yeah. it definitely tracks. It makes sense given that he's never really been called human.
Also, on the subject of Weekly Shonen Jump, another series has bit the dust, and somehow it's not High School Family.
Isn't High School Family selling like abysmally?
High School Family is sold awfully. Like, it's being outsold by Build King, which got axed at chapter 20. It has been consistently outsold by Build King.
Dang.
Sounds like Build King was unfairly axed, am I right?
No, Build King also sold awfully. That's the point. Like,
Taking the piss. I mean, clearly it was better than Phantom Seer, or in the same place, am I right?
go fuck yourself. I'm still furious about that, because... So for High School Family Volume 2, it only ranked on Shoseki for 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks, the numbers we have for it, it sold around 5,000 copies. In the first 2 weeks of Phantom Seer's final volume, it sold 21,000 copies. And it still got fucking axed. Absolute
that's not great.
bullshit.
Dylan, are you here yet? Alright.
Here's the other thing. The series that got axed today, Candy Flurry, also outsold High School Family.
Why the hell are they keeping that
Not
series
by a
around,
massive
then?
amount, but still outsold it.
Why are they keeping it around?
Because I assume the fucking editor loves it. Or, like, the head of it loves it. Like,
Don't forget what Bakuman said in that popular manga about Shonen Jump.
I don't
Good
remember.
manga will get popular, or something like that.
Well, it's had 3 volumes, and it's had a year to get popular, and it hasn't gotten popular. It is still selling as badly as it has been before. At least in terms of new stuff, Elusive Samurai and Blue Box appear to be relatively safe. Though I do not have high hopes for Red Hood or Nero? I can't remember what it's called.
Why's that?
Neither of which have been ranking well on the table of contents. Neru.
I mean, those two are also pre-volume at this point, so
Yes,
it's really hard to say.
It is. It definitely is. But I'm just expecting the worst at this point. Like, Red Hood came dead bottom in the table of contents. Below Candy
That's
Flurry,
odd.
which got axed, and then Neru was only one place above it there.
That is very odd.
Right. Oh god.
There's also a new series about like a piano themed series starting next week, which I have very low hopes for. Like, I'm sure it might be good, but I'm just not expecting it to do well in Weekly Shonen Jump of all things.
Yeah.
Anyway, is Dylan back yet?
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry,
Okay, cool.
I just didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Are we ready to jump back in?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to change the music before we do. As... Wrong server, I don't want to post that there. Oh my god. Let me do that again. There we go. So, you are all brought together in front of Kurogane in his office. As you walk in, he has a very grave expression. And he sees you all and gestures you to come in with 4 chairs for you all to sit at. So, I can understand you are curious as to why I've brought you here, and that is more than fine, as I am here to elucidate you on that. But before we get into business, how have you all been in this time?
We've been well.
I have been staying out of the public eye.
Yeah, I've noticed all of you have been very quiet. I've been actually a bit worried about you guys. It's partly why I gave you this job, because I thought you could do with being around people for a bit.
I don't know if I want to be around people anymore.
Well, that's the thing. This job, it's probably the hardest one I'm ever going to give you, and it's the hardest one you've gotten so far.
Your
Hope you're
joys.
prepared. This isn't for the faint of heart, so if any of you want to back out, you can't, unfortunately. But
Out of
you know,
character, I'm expecting such a massive bait and switch at this point.
and he pulls something out from his desk, and basically hands you a dossier.
What's this?
It's the brief if you want to give it a read.
Give it a read. What does it say?
You recognise this kind of thing, Aldane. It's basically a file concerning the school you went to and grew up at.
God damn it.
Are we getting a school arc?
Aquila Academy. You and Rua went there together as kids, and also Oriana would have went there.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have been there too, or was that like too late on the line?
Would you have actually went to school? Because how old is Seamus?
Well, Seamus is like mid-20s, I think.
I mean, it depends.
So,
'Cause
yeah, he's not
I
much
was-
older than Rua if he is.
Because Rua's 23, and Aldane's
Yeah, he's
like
probably
what,
like 24 or
25?
something.
How old is Aldane?
25.
Yeah. So I mean, you might have, but it would have been like, because the school is quite big, because it's like the main school in Centralis.
Yeah,
They want.
but
to
I
keep
did
it
at
quite
least study
central.
with. I know I did at least like study with Rua.
You might have crossed paths here and there, but the school was quite big. With all the classes would have been formatted, anyway. But anyway, and yeah, it's literally just information about the school, which half of you already know about. And he just like, again, quite great, just says, quite a few of our teachers have been ill at the moment. And with the rising worries of like saboteurs and spies, we were hoping you guys could help and, you know, deal with some of any causes. Children.
There it is.
Dyra just looks
Oh,
at
no.
him like, you want me to teach children?
You don't have to lead form classes or anything like major subjects. We're not asking you to teach them mathematics or politics. We merely wanted you to put their mind at ease and effectively do some what would you call it? Demonstrations for them.
Oh,
We
this
were
is a
hoping you
terrible
could
idea.
teach. We were hoping you could all teach some self-defense classes, or various things they could do when, you know, attacked by people.
Again, me. You want me to teach?
I can understand your trepidation, but the school personally asked, and I couldn't refuse them.
No, I understand. I'm just making sure you are aware that I am, not someone who should be around children.
I mean, hey, you'll be speaking with Jade, and she'll be there to help out.
Okay.
Just as a
Why
curiosity,
shouldn't you be around children, Dairon?
just as a curiosity, you are gonna have like medical services on hand just in case.
There's always physicians at the school anyway. Some of the best in the continent. We make sure our students are well looked after. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
No, I think we know everything we're going to know.
Alright then. And he just gestures. Alright then. You know what you need to do? You
So
will
we
be
just need to basically investigate and find any possible source of illness.
No, you're there to teach. You'll be
That's it,
substitute
okay.
teachers.
I was
It's
going to
more
say that
putting
sounds
this-
easy, but then I remembered what kind of place we live in.
It's more putting the students' minds at ease and also doing some stuff like that.
So what's the actual threat there?
None.
The children.
Ah, yes.
So we're literally just going there just to go there? Or like,
We're teaching.
We are
Oh,
substitute
God. Why-
teachers, Seamus.
why the fuck? I thought we were gonna be there for an actual mission.
This is an actual
It is an
mission.
actual mission.
But we're just substitute teachers. That's not a mission, that's just a fucking side gig.
Are you joking? Being a substitute teacher is hard fucking work.
It really
I'm
is.
gonna get everybody's
We
name
have to
wrong on
choose.
the roll
We
list
have
on
to choose the
purpose.
right
Let's go.
movie. We have to, set up the projector so that it's showing the screen properly. It's really hard work.
I'm gonna be a combination of the guy that Key and Peele do in Substitute Teacher. I'm gonna be a combination of that and Jack Black in School of Rock.
You wish.
We're going to a battle of the bands. Let's go.
So, you know what you need to do? Godspeed. And he gives you a salute.
Please tell me I get to be a music teacher.
You'll find out from the head teacher, the principal, when you get there.
Oh, so I'm gonna be doing the opposite of that then. Great.
Just speak to them, they'll fill you in on everything. And so, yeah, you make your way there. Do you want to speak on the way?
Sure. Let's speak on the way. This is definitely not going to go poorly at all.
So, Aldane, what was school like, considering this is your old alma mater?
It could have been better. To be as there is to be expected, there are always the standard bullies and dumbasses.
You would know.
Because-
There was always a bit of a divide, because quite a few nobles didn't like the fact that Stasia Ivaes, the late king, or the former king, demanded public schooling, for everyone of any class to be allowed in. And quite a few of the nobility pushed against it.
There was a bunch of classist jackasses.
It didn't
Right.
help the fact that Rua exacerbated things by fighting a lot of these bullies, to the point where it got so bad he nearly got suspended permanently and would have had to go to another fucking country. In fact, the Bone Claw Master you fought ages ago, he broke the guy's nose with a headbutt.
Darren's never been to school formally. So, Darren's like, I have no idea what we're walking into.
Neither has Felix actually.
Felix not have been schooled?
He was homeschooled.
Oh god.
And Darren was a street rat.
And
Oh,
Felix
this
is in
isn't-
summer right now.
You really
Really?
picked the worst time for this, kind of.
So, you go there. The school is very lovely, very well kept. The symbol is basically an eagle taking flight with a star at the back of it. And you actually meet an eagle kenku, a non-winged one. And he is in a very lavish, very well put together suit, and he just approaches you with a very friendly. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintances, heroes of the land. I do remember you two though, Aldane and Seamus.
Hello.
This man is called. Let me get the exact name for him. This is his name. Our Amadeus Aquila.
Hello,
Wolfgang
headmaster.
Amadeus Gucci. What?
He's a headmaster, right?
Yeah.
Hello, headmaster. It's been quite a while.
Indeed, it's good to see you both again. I hear you've been very busy as of late.
Yes, quite busy.
I believe Kurogane has briefed you on the situation at hand.
Yes, more or
Yes.
less.
Excellent. Well, here you go. As he holds out 4 ties. That would be basically what everyone has to wear, students and staff. And it's basically a black tie, very lavishly made with the school logo on it.
Dyron's wearing absolutely a 3-piece suit. Like, absolutely. Like,
Naturally.
fantastic.
I mean, you wouldn't have been allowed to change. And you weren't
I mean-
told of what was going on. You were just
Yeah, but
told
Dar-
this is going to be the hardest mission you dealt with.
No, I know, but that's what Dyron wore to the meeting, so.
Okay.
Dyron was looking very dapper.
Okay, sure, I believe it. Yeah, you're all given these ties. You can wear them as however you would want to. Whether you want to wear one as a headband or as like an
I was gonna say,
armband, you can.
I imagine Seamus wearing it as a headband. It fits his
Yep.
rock star image.
I walk into the classroom. Hey, what up? My name is Mr. Schneebly.
Cringe, you just say from the back.
Hey,
But yeah, so
nobody understands that reference.
but yeah, you get these ties, and he leads you in, and the gentleman just says, "Well, as you are aware, there is some tensions and worries in the country at the moment, despite our also higher morale. We were hoping you could all have a few words to say about trying to ease the minds of the students. And so, first of all, we have made an assembly. You can speak as little or as long as you want. Just be careful, these are students of various age ranges, upwards of 17 to, well, like 5. So please do mind your language and nothing weird or anything that could disturb or traumatize our young, impressionable students."
Traumatized students, got it.
Oh,
He
I've
gives
had
you
an
a
evil
great-
idea.
He gives you a grave stare, Aldane.
I'm mostly joking. Felix, do not actually traumatize
It
the
al-
students, please.
It
Oh no,
It
no,
almost gives
my
you-
revenge is not, well, not vengeance, but my idea is not to do with harming the students.
Oh, he's gonna fuck one of the students.
No.
Felix getting cancelled any percent. Yeah. You are led to the assembly. The room's fucking massive, and there's a lot of students. But you can easily pick out Jade because she's the tallest one amongst most of the kids. In fact, one of the shorter students, a gnome, is riding on her shoulders, so they have a better view.
Can I get a read of the room, like do an insight?
Yeah, you all can if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to do that as well.
Nice. 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 Dylan?
Sorry, I spaced for a sec. What was that?
Are you gonna insight
Oh my
the
God.
to read the room?
Oh, right. Yes.
Here are
Well,
the
you
good
can all
rolls.
tell it's very tense, just because the students have no fucking clue what's going on. They were just told about this, and they're all like talking amongst each other. And once they see you enter the room, they all just stare at you. A few of them still murmuring very quietly, though. The people who can lip read, you just see like, who the fuck are these weirdos? And just stuff like that. Very confused. And the headmaster just like clears his throat. Attention, students! Thank you for gathering today. We have we have gathered a few substitute teachers for this brief period to talk and try to put your minds at ease. These four are great heroes of the land and have saved this country multiple times already. And they are on the fast track to making even greater accomplishments. And I will leave it to them to introduce themselves and talk for a while. Please give them your full attention. And they all look to you guys. Who wants to speak first?
I guess I'll go first. Hello, students. I am Eldan Seonadel. I am a paladin and adventurer and friend of the guard. Some of
Fuck
you
the
may know me.
police! You just hear.
Thank you, random students,
You're
for
welcome,
your
man!
input. Anyways, interruptions aside, we are sorry about the circumstances that require us to be here, but nonetheless, we will do the best that we can to ensure your continued education until such a time as your teachers are better. And to be brief, we won't be around here for too long, but we will try our best to do right by you as students. All that said, I will turn it over to one of my colleagues.
I'm Dairon. I'm a thief, I guess. Formerly from Belfast.
Oh! You just say a bunch of them say.
So I'm also a detective of sorts, private eye. I make problems go away, one way or another.
Can you make my parents' divorce go away? You just say from the crowd.
I can damn well try.
Oh, you just hear a few of them say. Bearing in mind, the room is silent unless any of you guys do speak.
I step back. I'm done. I've done my bit.
Felix shoves Seamus forward.
Seamus let himself be shoved.
Who shoved me?
No, because if you don't want Felix to shove you, you both have to do contested athletics checks.
Is this just because Felix wants to go first, or what?
No, because he wants you to go before him.
Oh. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that athletics check.
Felix also has to do athletics then. As the room just piercing silence as these two are being fucking idiots. Oh! You both are locked. You both are locked, like trying to push, and it's just silence. As you two are both fucking being idiots.
Jesus Christ.
Fine.
This is
I'm Felix. If anyone is smart, I'll be teaching you art.
Crowd's just silent.
Seamus is
You,
like, yeah,
you actually,
Felix
you
went
actually,
first.
you actually hear a pin drop. It's that quiet.
Meh.
In fact, you're sure you're surprised there isn't a tumbleweed.
Go ahead, Seamus. Your turn.
Well, I'm Seamus. I'm a musician. You may have heard of me. You may not have.
A few of them just like gasp and start murmuring to each other. It's like, oh, fucking Seamus. It's
Great,
like, who
some
the
of you
fuck-
guys know who I am.
And it's
Anyway,
like, and you just hear someone say, sell out.
who is there even to sell out to?
The general crowds. Who else? You fucking sell out.
Who
And you
else
just hear
would
one
you
of the
se-
you say one of the teachers say, stop that language immediately.
Hey, sellout's not a cuss word like fuck, so I'm fine with it.
And you, Aldane and Daron, you just see the headmaster just pinching the brow of his beard, shaking his head.
Aldean,
Oh
Diary-
shit, I forgot I couldn't say that. Ah.
Aldean Gibb slaps him.
Darren's like pinching the bridge of their nose, like Jesus Christ, get me out of here.
Holy Sadie, strike me with lightning.
Seamus just like stops talking at that point because he can't stop cussing, so he just steps back.
There's just like a dead silence for like it feels like 5 minutes, but it's only 5 seconds. But Headmaster Aquila just steps forward and just says, "Well, here are eclectic mix of the teachers who are here to fill in for the roles of the people who are currently indisposed. Please treat them kindly. And yes, you can continue with your classes. Be happy in the knowledge that you are given a free period for this." And a few of the students like, "Oh man, that's really great," and like really happy. And he just claps his talons and just says, "And with that, please return to your form rooms." And they just start filing out. As they're walking out, you actually see Jade as she's just waving at you guys very eagerly, and accidentally knocks over the gnome that's on her shoulders.
Hi, Jade.
"Hey guys!" And
Oh.
she just points at one of the students. She says, "They're friends of mine. I've beat people up with them. In fact, them over there, I slam dunked a guy with them."
Hello. I
Do you
wave.
think she means like as partners, or she used that person as a
No,
weapon?
I was there. She slam dunked a dude. She slam dunked a fool. It was an interesting moment.
You do watch just a few of the students are giving you looks. Not great ones, you can easily tell. Some of them weren't impressed. But it seems like you did the best you could do. Or at least some of you did. Afterwards, Aquila just looks at you all and says, very, very good job. All of you. Second period of the day is PE, so this will be the perfect time for you to do your self-defense demonstrations. You will each be doing your own class simultaneously, so some of the students can pick which ones they want to do. So
Okay.
I hope you have something prepared. Doesn't necessarily have to be combat strategies. It can be mainly just things like how to escape a fight, or just any all-purpose general tips you can come up with. And he leaves you. He does actually help you, and like he does guide you, and like he shows you where the all-surface pitch is, where you would be doing your various classes. The outside ones, anyway. And then he leaves you alone, as you can prepare what you want to do and talk amongst yourselves.
So, what festival did we have the tournament at, Kaido?
The summer one, if I'm correct.
So, Summer Festival / Rybarb's Peak.
Yeah, you're correct. As this is now partway into November. I would say it is the 9th of November. 2 days before Warriors Day. Yeah. Unless you don't want to talk amongst yourselves, we can just skip to straight doing the PE class.
I mean, I feel we should discuss who's doing what.
I'm gonna handle.
You could just
I'll
keep everything a surprise.
I'll do observation and looking out for trouble and dangers.
I'll do
Looking out
staff
for-
fighting.
Or like, would spellcasting be a part of it, or is it all physical?
You could do spellcasting stuff.
Because I was thinking Felix could probably do that, because he's like basically our warlock.
I have a very esoteric way of casting spells that doesn't work for anybody else.
Fair enough. I am going to be teaching the wonderful art passed down through generations upon generations of bards of shit talking.
You know you're not allowed to use shit talking when you talk to the students, right?
We'll call it trash talking, just to make it PC.
You mean age appropriate?
Sure.
How old are these kids?
At least 5 to 17.
Cool.
It's a pretty wide age
The-
range there.
The oldest is a year younger than Dairon.
This is perfect.
Just so we're clear, Dairon's 18.
What's Aldane gonna teach?
Probably self-defense and or physical combat.
So, as second period moves, the students all file out, and there's just this big fucking crowd. It's not all the students, it seems. It just seems like they've got a specific age range for the moment. These are the teenagers, so 13 to 17. I mean, it seems to be, but there's a mix of races, so it's hard to tell which of the teenagers are just very tall kids who've snuck in. And you are met by a coach who actually does help with easing things in. And what race are they again? They are, in fact, a Dragonborn. A bronze Dragonborn. And they just look to you and just say, "It is a pleasure to meet you, sir. Sirs, people. My name is Champus Pogranix. This is a pleasure to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
They shake your hands and just say, I will be on hand to help with anything if you need any assistance. But I'm mostly a substitute myself. I teach history.
Why do PE teachers always also teach history?
Oh.
I don't teach history. The PE teacher's sick. I've been called in.
Oh, okay.
This would normally be my free period. That's how much of a skeleton crew we're on.
Jeez. Yeah, we're glad to help in any way we can, but
Again, just do your thing. Teach what you want to. Don't be too worried if you hurt a student. I mean, we live in an era where magic is very commonplace, and it's very easy to lose control of your own strength.
okay. Well. I think Dyron. So Dyron's teaching lie detecting and just like reading intentions.
Before you do that, as the students together, there's still a big crowd. It's not as big as it was before, but it's still a decent amount of people, and they all look at you, and they all look very nonplussed. And then, yeah, now you can describe what you're doing to the students, with the students, I should say.
So, I guess I'm gonna go over how to recognize a threat, and how to read a person's face to recognize a threat or not.
Just before we do this, is there like equipment available like quarterstaffs?
There's like soft weapons and like even bows and target dummies.
Okay, good.
Like there is stuff you could have to like show off stuff.
I just didn't want to say, hey, I'm teaching quarterstaff fighting, and then there'd be no quarterstaffs to actually, use.
Yeah.
That would be quite bad.
My goal is to essentially teach them how to do my insightful fighting bit.
Yeah. What about you, Seamus? Oh yeah, you're trash talking, right?
Yep. That's a physical education, right?
Aldane, you're doing basic combat training, right?
Correct.
So, between the students, I'm gonna actually roll for a ratio. So, first of all, Aldane,
Mm-hmm.
you get 50% of the students.
Oh joy.
Makes sense.
Felix gets 25% of
Oh,
the
jeez.
students.
Oh no.
Daron gets the other 25%.
Cool.
Okay then, Seamus, you're with me, and I just drag him along.
Literally not a single
Get
student.
stuck.
No, actually, no, sorry. Darren gets 24% because the last 1% is with Seamus.
How many people is that?
4 students.
Or what now?
You get 4 students.
Oh, each of us do?
No,
No,
you
you.
only get 4 students.
Oh, I only get 4 students.
That's how many are actually halfway interested.
Oh. Well,
I mean,
That means I get
that
to
does
mess
imply
around a
that
little bit
if
more.
that does imply that if 1% is 4 students, then I've got 100. Or am I thinking too much about the math here?
Yeah, you are. I don't think so, Absolute. Definitely not pulling out a random number of students.
Mm-hmm. So how many students do I have?
I would say I'll make a roll. You get 28. No, you get 26. Daron gets then 30. And then Aldane gets 50. So there is still a fuck ton of students, it's just, yeah. Not exactly 1% for Seamus and all those percentages I made.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so in order, we will go with Daron.
Okay.
So I want you to actually describe what you would be doing and how you would do it and like other things like that.
So is the gym teacher also combat training?
The gym teacher's just monitoring things, keeping a watch
I know.
out.
Is he combat trained?
You don't know, you'd have to ask.
Okay. I need to borrow someone who has combat or like.
Ask them.
Okay.
Ask Champus Pogranix.
Compass, do you have any combat training?
I know a bit. My my sister's actually a fighter. That's where we got
Did
the
I mention
name.
that I hate that you named this guy basically PogChamp?
That's how my family lineage actually came about. My mother, sorry. She came from the Pogranix family and was given Champus as the title. The champion of Pogranix, if you will.
God damn it.
Or Pog Champ, as the students
God
call
fucking
it.
damn it.
Oh, fucking damn it, Kaido.
Would you be willing to help me with the demonstration?
Sure, why not? That's what I'm here for.
Also,
Never wanted to commit
Jade
self forever sleep more.
is Jade in this group of students?
Yes.
Which
Oh,
group where did she go?
With you, actually.
Okay, no, that's good. That's fine. That means I've got to help her.
I just ask him to get into a combat stance, and I kind of go through common tells that I've seen and like ways people's stances can like the way people hold themselves, the way people look to describe.
So he kind of has his hands in like the Kamehameha pose. Because he clearly looks like he doesn't really know what to do with himself too much.
I'm like positioning him and like I'm using him as a mannequin a little bit.
Oh, it's a bit close to somewhere. Oh, okay. So like this.
Yep, I get him to like a combat stance, and I point out like individual like points that I was trained to look for, that are weak points, that are things that you can strike very quickly and easily to debilitate opponents. Weak
Ooh.
points. I also go through like how to read if someone is a threat or not, and like how someone's stance can be aggressive or not aggressive. And I kind of just I use some students as like I get various students to like practice that.
A lot of the students actually look a lot more capable of making a ready combat stance.
Right, and I like I
so-
get like I point
well, if
out
you-
out flaws in their stances and like
So for this, give me a charisma check
oh Jesus.
and an intelligence check.
Jesus Christ, Kaido.
Not bad. Not bad, honestly. You do a pretty good job. Some of the stuff, it doesn't help the fact that because this is instinctual for you, you're using some wording that like, or phrases and stuff that like goes a bit over the heads. Like you're talking to someone as if you're talking to someone who's on the same level as you.
Right.
And so it's still not bad. Like a few of the students are helping each other get what you're trying to say. And you do a good enough description that they do pick up intuitively quite a few of the things you're trying to describe. And so you do actually see some results already. Very good job.
Yeah, and I'm just helping kind of maintain that.
Next, we will go with Felix.
Okay. So I basically.
So, I was going to say, before you start, Jade actually just whispers to you and says, Akira did actually teach me some Tennoyama quarterstaff moves. So if you need me to do anything specific, I can help you with it.
Good to know, thank you. So I basically explained my credentials as, you know, the person who placed second in the lightweight festival fight.
You do get a few people who are actually interested and nod, and it's like, oh, I remember seeing you. You nearly lost to that person over there. They just point out later on.
Yeah, they cheated.
Didn't you cheat as well with that magic stuff?
Not in that fight, though. I only cheated
but you
against
still
a fellow cheater.
You still cheated though, right? Because he kept absorbing them attacks with that magic stuff.
That's different. That's not cheating. That was allowed in the rules. Anyway.
That just seems like you're being a hypocrite. I don't know if I want to keep hearing this from you. And a student actually just leaves and walks over to another group.
Didn't even do a charisma check, just called bullshit right away.
I don't want to be a teacher. That's out of character, by the way.
No, keep it in character.
No.
No, it'd be fun.
No.
Alright.
Felix just goes through the basic, like, Tenoyama staff fighting stances, using Jade as an example.
So, do you do like practice sparring for the show, or what? Like,
well, I have Jade basically, like, show them off, and I, go through and explain, like why she has her legs so and so far apart, why she has her hands where they are on the staff, and that sort of thing.
yeah. Honestly, she displays a lot of technique. Despite the fact that she's demonstrating a lot more force behind the strikes, it's clear that she's using it in a sense where it makes sense with how her build is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like trying to fit a square thing into a round circle.
Mm-hmm. How long would you say that would take?
You'd probably have to spend a few minutes. Give me a charisma and intelligence check with this.
Charisma. Oh boy. And intelligence. Better.
So you're just like... So it's basically Jade has to actually pretty much speak on your behalf with stuff.
No,
It's
that's
really
fine.
embarrassing.
I don't care.
Really embarrassing though. Because a lot of students like, why isn't Jade just teaching us? Why are you even here? You just seem useless.
I got shanghaied into this.
What the fuck is a Shanghai?
You'll learn when you're older.
Wow! Rare moment where Felix gets to pull that card.
Hey, I am like 90 years older than some of these kids.
So,
Isn't Felix the oldest in the party?
Yes, I'm
He
103.
he's the oldest, even if Rua was to be added into the mix with the combined age total, everyone would still be younger than him. But yeah, so what happens is a lot of students really aren't getting it. You're like, quite a few are actually like, can you just show us a better demonstration, like in a sparring?
Fine. Jade, try not to crush my skull.
I won't crush your skull, don't worry. And I'm gonna have to ask that you do quarter staff attacks. Just general quarter staff attacks with Jade.
Yeah. So if I recall correctly, you let me do them with dexterity during the festival. Am I still allowed to do that?
Because these are very light, and these are similar to the practice ones you used, yes.
Okay. Should I just roll 2 d20s like normally, or do I have to actually add a quarterstaff into my attack list?
Just do d20 plus proficient, because are you proficient with these?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, do proficiency plus dex then.
Oops.
38, I was gonna say, that's fucking hard hitting.
24. 24.
You completely murked Jade.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's two separate ones.
Well, no,
Like,
'cause
not like two separate attacks. Is the idea. It's like in this case, that's what Jade gets, and that's also what Jade gets.
Okay.
It's fine. I get it though. You've got a 14-17.
Yeah, I thought
Do you
that's how
do-
it worked.
Oh wow, you crit. Deal sneak attack damage. No, I'm joking. So yeah, you do. It's no. Well, it's a crit as well, so it's crit sneak attack. So do sneak attack again.
Ooh, but
Oh my god. Whoever would be taking that would be fucking erased from this existence.
Suddenly we look over and see that Dyron has just KO'd the PE teacher.
Darren's just Thanos snapped half the class. Reality can be whatever I want it to be. Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you do manage to do a very good demonstration. You can clearly tell Jade is like pulling her punches and trying to be nice.
Good, because she'd kill me otherwise.
And yeah, you do a very good demonstration. And yeah, it goes very well. Now we are on. Let me do a roll. Seamus,
Yes.
what
Is it my
are you
turn to
do-
teach the class?
Yes, these would be going on simultaneously.
Mm.
So
Meanwhile,
what's your thing? Do your thing.
Alright, kids. So, a very overlooked part of combat that is incredibly important, especially to me, who I do not always have the greatest strength and physical abilities. So,
Yeah, I can tell.
trash.
One of them just says.
Thank you for stating the obvious, Captain Obvious. Would you like to shut up now? But, as a bard, I do have a cantrip called Vicious Mockery that lets me put a little bit of spice, a little bit of mustard on my trash talk. You guys may not have that advantage, but you can still effectively trash talk and get into the head of your opponents and give you an advantage in combat. For instance, say,
If you wanted to,
say
you could
your
actually
opponent
just-
tries to hit you with a fireball spell and he completely misses you. You can further get into his head and really cause a detriment to his performance by saying something along the lines of, "You can't even hit me with your dollar store fireball. There's no way you can stop me from rocking you."
What's a dollar store?
The words don't mean as much. It just matters that the insult gets through. A
By
dollar
the
store
way-
is something that has very low value things.
As a demonstration, you could actually viciously mock one of your allies to make them fuck up. Like, you know,
Oh.
Felix, while he's fighting.
I was gonna say
with,
Felix would be my
Jade.
target. Like, watch this.
do you do
I'll
it?
show you. Let's see. Let's do it on Aldane, actually.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I mean, Aldane does have naturally good wisdom saves.
Never mind. So let's do it on Felix. Let's do. Let's do Felix. I'm gonna try to distract him so he gets smacked in the face by Jade. So. Hey, Felix, careful not to mess up over there.
Nil, give me a wisdom save. So, Mill, that 17 is at disadvantage. Roll again.
Wait, which 17? I
That
did roll
17
again.
you
I got a
rolled.
14.
Oh yeah, so that 14. All right then, re-roll that 18 then. Right then. So it's a lot closer as you just hear this fucking insult and just start coughing a bit. As Jade is a lot more aggressive in the fight and takes advantage of the distraction. It's closer and you're having to sweat a bit, but it's not too bad. But it's noticeable the dip in quality.
And then I turn to the students and I say, "See, point proven."
A lot of them look very intrigued and excited. And as you do that, give me intelligence and charisma, please.
After that, I just shout to Seamus, "I'm telling Derek where you live!"
God no. So
I just-
intelligence and charisma.
I just yelled, doesn't Derek already know where he lives?
No, Derek knows where Seamus lives.
What happened to my chaw stats?
So, it's awkward. Like, you showed it, but the student's like, but we can't cast the cantrip. It's not really much helpful to us. And a
Yeah.
few of them are like, I don't even want to be a bard. And they're just like, Vicious Mockery sounds like a bad cantrip.
Wow.
It's not.
You guys
successful,
just
really.
don't know any better. So I'm gonna let that slide.
Aldane, it is your turn.
So we're doing basic combat demonstrations, right?
I mean, that is what you wanted to do, right?
Yes. So, first thing to keep in mind with combat is making sure you are properly armored for what you want to be. I am a paladin, and I have trained extensively to wear heavy armor, for instance.
But can't
And I can
paladins
wear
also wear light armor?
Yes, I can wear any kind of armor I want. But
Ooh.
the way I fight means having heavy armor is more beneficial to me, as I am not particularly agile, and I need to be able to tank hits. And as such, I also come with a shield and a sword as my main fighting style. It may not seem the most flashy, but it is practical.
A few of them are nodding, listening. And
Another
you do
benefit-
one of the students, though, is immediately not impressed. She's actually just looking away and not paying attention.
Another benefit of being a paladin is the ability to smite things.
You hear a few of them, like, intrigued. And it's like, can you smite something or someone?
Sure thing.
You would have, like, the
And
practice
I-
for me, you could hit.
Yeah.
What's a hit?
Alright.
Getting that one. Getting that one. Getting that one.
Nope.
Oh, that would have been so funny if you just, like...
No.
Just
And
biffed it.
I do a
You just fucking
level
chucks
2
your
divine
stuff.
smite.
Jesus Christ, this is a fucking straw doll.
I know. I'm gonna obliterate it.
He just
Right,
wants
Rolf
to
is-
flex.
Roll for smite damage.
That's 3d8, right?
Yeah. All ones. Get all ones. Do it.
Nope.
Oh, there was a one there though. So yeah, you just completely erase that doll from existence. And a lot of them are like, oh, that's so cool, and like really intrigued. But there's still one student again. She's just not paying attention. She really doesn't look impressed. And it's like, whatever, not that cool.
Beat the kids. Beat the
No.
What?
Now, as a paladin, you are able to access some spells, but not as much as a spellcaster such as a wizard or a bard. I can do something like cast Aid and give someone a little bit of extra health to top them off
can-
going into a tough encounter.
You can give people aids.
No. Aid, singular. It's a spell.
But doesn't it give more than one people the effects?
It does, actually.
So you are giving them aids.
No, that's not how it works.
Are you positive?
No, quite negative at this point.
Then how can you be sure that it's what it does if you're not sure about it? And a few
You know
of the
what?
students are just like laughing at each other.
Oh, I forgot how much children can be aggravating. Alright. Another fun thing. I can cast a little spell called Zone of Truth. It makes anyone within radius tell me the objective truth. That, as far as they know.
Another one holds up a finger, a different student.
Yes?
But can't people just not speak? Or just creatively, you know, get around to telling the truth?
Oh, I have encountered scenarios like that before.
Then is it really that useful? It seems pretty worthless.
Kaido, are you just saying this to get a mouthpiece on how much you don't like the Zone of Truth spell?
No? I think it's actually pretty decent spell.
I almost should have had my Zone of Truth equipped for this. That would have been fun.
Yeah, it's
As you're
possible,
speaking,
but you don't
As you're
have
spe-
you don't have to announce that you cast a spell. They don't have to know that it's active.
I mean, Zone of Truth is, let me see, it's vocal and somatic, so people would notice you're casting it.
Ah,
one of the students actually does stand up, and this is a Leonin, a big black tiger Leonin, this large man, and he's just like, bro, this is fucking shit. Like, you're just letting these kids fucking make fun of you?
I do not
Bruh.
control how children behave.
I'm surprised he can even do anything effectively if you just get him mouthed off to. Even the frail one over there seems to be holding himself a bit better. He just points out Felix.
See, I would actually care if what they said did any real damage to me, but it doesn't. I don't really care.
Sounds like you're a bit of a wuss.
Not calling kettle black much.
You pointing out my colour of fur?
No.
Okay, sure, fine, whatever. And he just sits back down.
God,
As you
children are so
As you say
aggravating.
that, though, you do actually feel a pang coming from outrage. As if it's resonating with you.
Let's fucking rage.
Rip and tear. These 5-year-olds.
I'd rather not.
But yeah, the young girl is still just like even less disinterested.
So she's more interested now?
No, I mean more like
Or
she
just-
just even. Yeah, she just doesn't care even more. Like, she's clearly away from everyone, and she's just, like, not bothering with what you're saying.
Kaido, do I notice this?
I feel like all of you would notice, because she's clearly away from the rest of the group. She is, in fact, what race is she again? She is, in fact... Not all the races are here. Oh my god. No, it's fine. I can work with this. She do be, in fact, where is it now? A wood elf. And she's just like, ugh, and groaning.
I insight her just to get us.
Yeah, go for it.
I-
She was interested in, but like, she just seems to think that Aldean clearly is like a buffoon. Like, he's letting these students insult him. He's like, at least the others seem to be having a better showing. It seems like she's feeling like she picked the wrong person to check out.
Alden,
Yeah, I
Tyra.
think I have an idea of what to do now.
Alden, would you mind helping me with something?
Sure. What is it?
I draw isolation. I'm going to attack you. I want you to show me your. Why don't we have a little spar? Show me everything you can do.
Sure thing. I
Yeah.
deliberately avoid pulling out outrage.
A lot of the students are now interested. The ones from Daron's group.
Actually, no, I make it. Aldean makes a show of going for outrage and then deliberately pulls the other blade instead.
The students are booing you, Aldean, but they're cheering for Daron.
I guess you're the hero in this match.
We'll see about that. I'm just gonna
Making
insightful. I'm
Oh.
insightful fighting first, but
I mean, hey, do deception, Aldean, because he could fail.
it is a 16.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think that's gonna happen.
Nope. But I do an attack. With a crit.
Ooh.
Oh no.
It's also auto-calculating doing your damage. If you all go on your character sheet, because Roll 20's done this, where the gear is, turn off auto-roll damage. Because in some cases you might get a crit, but it's on the other side, and you know, not even just that,
Where-
but sometimes you might miss.
Where is that on the? I already clicked on the gear thing. I'm just trying
Go
to
on the
figure out which
settings, and it's in the top
It's-
right on.
it's-
top
yeah,
right.
Yeah. It's like the third or fourth thing down.
And I'm kind of,
Uh-huh.
I think as we're doing this, like I'm kind of talking through our combat.
Well, as you do that, you feel a flash as you actually stab Aldane. Your
Ow.
weapon strikes very true, in fact, and you deal sneak attack. Crit sneak attack as well. Alright, and again. And that acid damage as well, because you crit it.
Jesus, what's that? 1d6?
A D8.
I think your attempt to make Haldane look better may have failed.
Yeah, probably.
Might have backfired. So you actually stab Aldane right in the fucking gut by accident, and you weren't trying to do that.
Aldane!
And yeah, Aldane, you're in pain. It fucking hurts.
Seamus
Ow.
immediately. Would Seamus notice this? I think my
You'd have
passive
probably
perception's
heard
high
him
enough.
screaming in pain.
Yeah, so I immediately run over there and I cast Healing Word.
I am fine.
Well, no, I'm gonna cast Healing Word anyway. Just because we can't have you bleeding on the gym floor there.
It's not even on the gym floor, it's outside in the grass.
Still, that's a fair amount of damage, so let's take care of some of that for you.
Mm.
The students are cheering for you though, Dayron. They think it's the coolest shit ever.
Aldane, do I
It's-
recognize? Do I recognize if that's isolations doing?
Give an insight. So for a brief moment, when you were about to strike Aldane, you felt a familiar presence like when you fought Gulwivai. For the slightest second, it felt like you needed to take down Gulwivai. You aren't sure whether it's also just because the weapons are naturally attracted to each other, seemingly as they need to be brought together. You do notice, though, the part where you ended up accidentally hitting isn't too far from Outrage.
I like
That was painful.
that is the weapons.
Yes.
What's Felix doing in all of this?
Felix looked over, sighed, and then went back to his own lesson. Actually,
Wow.
though he is also, I assume this school has like a bell.
There is a bell, yeah.
Felix is counting down that and is preparing an action.
Okay, for what?
He's gonna toll the dead Seamus when the bell goes off to hide the sound.
That's great.
Just to be clear, I did not mean to crit Aldane.
No, it's funny.
That's
It's fucking hilarious. It's perfect. There's a lot of PvP going on today. The thing is that a lot of the students were actually like shocked at what happened. And a few of the students are murmuring actually about this. With your lip reading, Seamus and Daron, you see actually the students from Aldane's group just like, wow, that's pretty not impressive. Another one saying like, wow, he got jobbed hard. And like, the young girl is actually just mouthing like, what a waste.
Why are you
Seemingly.
making the kids so fucking mean, dude? What the hell?
They're kids.
You know what? You're
Oh.
right.
Yeah,
Jack, you forget how much a monster's kids are. That this would just happen in normal.
imagine
everyday
being
life.
upset at a fucking kid mouthing off. Wow,
Mm.
seems kind of wussy to me.
Kato, really?
You know I don't mean it, but yeah, like.
Super cringe.
Alden,
But yeah.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Do you like? I just help all. I just kind of work with Aldane about using. I don't know. Like I kind of work with Aldane and we do our combat. Like we show off our skills together.
Right, Aldane, give me your attacks this time. Because this is technically your turn now. Crit. Oh. Would that hit?
No, I mean that matches actually. So yes.
Yep, so...
Doesn't need. Why did it put the description in there?
no clue. But yeah, you go to strike and you basically stop where you would have hit. Just to be like, you know, again, for the demonstration. And now the second attack.
Do I actually do damage on this one?
Do you want to actually do damage?
No.
Right, then no. It's only because Darren rolled a crit. But again, you would have, because you would have landed. Would stop yourself, I assume. And Darren would have probably show off like uncanny dodge, maybe.
Yeah.
So that continues for a bit. And in the end, yeah. Aldane, because I don't think you've done it yet. Give me intelligence and charisma. This will be at advantage because Darren's helping you. Mm-hmm. 16, 17, very nice. So yeah, this goes on for a bit until the class ends. And the Mr. Pogranix does just say to you all, I'm so sorry about what happened. This has been it's been a very hectic day. Are you alright up there, Mr. Cyanidel?
I'll be fine. I think a little bit of an impalement won't, I think a little bit of healing won't fix.
Good. Yeah, take a rest anyway. You guys don't need to worry now for a good bit of the day.
Has the bell gone off by this point, by the way?
The bell would have ended already. So you
Well,
can
then
do
I
your held
cast Toll the
action.
Dead. So, Seamus, make a wisdom save.
Oh, why? What are you doing to me?
I'm casting Toll the Dead because you vicious mockeried me. That's a fail. That's a hard fail.
Roll a d8.
2d8 actually.
2d8. Oh my god.
So let's get that one up. Come on, mouse work. Take 9 damage.
So as the bell ends or starts, Seamus, you just suddenly cough up blood, and then everyone would notice Seamus is like in pain.
Well, touche.
I mean, you can do. I'm gonna say you probably would see fucking Felix doing that at you. After the bell ends, though, you do hear someone clapping as they're walking to you, and you see the source, and it is in fact, who is it now? Where are you? It's actually Kuro. And she's like, "Wow, nice job, everyone. You've come back from the forbidden ice, and now you're just killing each other. I didn't realize things were that bad up there.
They were pretty bad, to be fair.
They did get bad, yes.
Well, I didn't expect you all to start stabbing and hurting each other. Wow, I didn't realize your group was falling apart that bad.
That was a mistake.
Was the vicious mockery in Toll of the Dead?
No. Me stabbing Aldane, yes.
Just face palms. Well, thank you very much for doing this task, by the way. I do appreciate it. It was either this or Guy.
I feel
Cammy.
like he would have been a better choice.
No, because it would have been Guy, Cammy, Tristina, and Jade. And Jade's a fucking student, and you've seen Cammy. She doesn't speak.
She managed to teach those two pretty well.
Yes, but that's two people in a one-to-one scenario. And also, have you seen Guy? He'd be sweating his tits off in this. Anyway.
That is true. He would be sweating profusely.
Just wanted to let you know, your shift is actually done for the day, so you can relax now. Seems like some of you at least, hit it off with the students very well, and some of you didn't, but you know, first day in the job. You've done pretty well though. You can always add this to your CV.
No thanks. Quick question though. Who was that female student that was really unwilling to participate?
Oh, them, yeah. Jade told me about, what was the name again? Is he like, puts a finger to his head? You know, in thought.
Yeah.
That young lady is, and I'm just going to, Mela Velufra. Her dad was in the war against humans.
I see.
Unfortunately, from what I know, he did survive, but was horribly injured. And by the time he was already horribly injured, Rua's dad had only already joined after the fact. And her mother recently, actually was one of the guards who died in the dragon attack.
This makes sense then.
It's unfortunate, but, well, she's probably not too interested in learning how to fight, considering her
Yeah.
family was already ruined by it before she could even have a choice to do anything.
Right.
Don't take it too hard though, Aldane. She's a kid, and, you know, kids are prone to lashing out, especially when, you know, in that scenario.
Yes. I know all too well.
But hey, you did your first day on the job, and your only day on the job. Congrats. Come to my office whenever, and I'll give you your wage.
Great.
I'm gonna tell you now, it's only 200 gold, but that's 100 gold. That's 50 gold an hour, which is, quite frankly, very good for substitute teachers.
Sure.
Yes.
On a more serious note, though, I did want to ask that you're together. What do you plan to do?
We have it to one of the places. Get another one of the pieces.
Like, decide soon, because they're not going to wait for you.
We should probably get Bovetments.
Yes.
Kuro,
I'd rather not.
when is the Cordis portion of the Black Rain investigation leaving?
There's not really anything specific at the moment. They're still finding a group. If you offered to join the group, it would immediately be beginning when you would want to leave. But that's if you want to put yourselves forward for it. Otherwise, it will go at an undetermined amount of time. You aren't sure when, and it's very likely you might miss it otherwise. The thing is, if you do go with them on the inquiry, you will be protected from while entering Black Rain. Whereas if you went on your own, it would very much be a more clandestine sort of stealth operation, or at least it wouldn't be something that could be considered official. So if you got caught or caused trouble, it would be on you guys. Whereas if you did it as part of the inquiry, there'd be some leeway for stuff. But on the other hand, you would also be sort of restricted at the same time because people would know you're actually in the country. So people would notice you is the thing.
I'd say we have to do Black Rain. Well, Black Rain is the most time. Black Rain's time sensitive.
Well, going to Black Rain as part of the investigation is... I don't think we should... Considering that's probably one of the strongest pieces, we probably shouldn't, take care of it straight away.
I mean, you know the least about it.
But it's also, where it started.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as you know, it was at the Black Death Swamp. You don't know if it's moved since then.
We do, actually.
Well, do you?
Yeah, it's in the Ebony Imperium, isn't it? That's what I've got written down.
Good memory.
Not good memory, I've got it written down.
Good memory to write it down and check. Bro, I'm fucking complimenting you. Take the compliment. I would say Brewer would be joining you for that. So you'd have him. Prody wouldn't come. I'll say that outright.
That's fair.
Prody would actually be able to maybe help with the Ten no Yama one if you knew more about it, maybe. And also the timing, because he's only just done the fucking Claude Neopole piece. Yeah, it's up to you guys. From what I can gather, though, just as a GM, it seems like both Em and or Black Crane are the most pressing to you guys, which is fair.
I leave it to the rest of the party to kind of decide which one we want to go for first.
Don't be a coward. Decide.
Let's go with both Edmonds, I'd say.
So that's at least one for both Edmund.
Dylan, what do you think?
What do I think about what?
Where we should go next? Bo Vetman or Black Rain?
I'd say it should be within character because,
Yeah, within character. Let's go to Black Rain.
So that's one for Bo Vetman, one for Black Crane.
Oh god, means I'm the deciding vote and I don't like that.
Well, we already know what Dairon's vote would be.
Do we? I thought Darren was letting us decide.
Yeah, Dairon is abstained.
Because Dairon doesn't particularly want to go back to Bovetman, but also doesn't tend to want to really go to Black Rain either. For a variety of reasons.
I don't know.
Can I change my answer just for simplicity's sake?
Go to
I
Black
mean...
Rain.
Oh.
All right, let's go
nice.
Black Rain then. I feel like me and Felix both kind of want to fuck up Black Rain a little bit.
Well, that was
Felix
what
more so.
that was what the wisdom roll was. Whether Felix was wise enough to realize he probably shouldn't go to Black Rain while he's in summer,
Ah.
No, that's perfect.
but he rolled below a 10, so nope, he is not wise enough to realize that.
He's got a rage boner.
Alright, Kuro claps his hands and just says, well, I will inform our gracious dick-kicking king, Rua, that he wished to be part of the group that is heading there. And we will get that sorted as soon as then. I wish I could attend, but that would be a lie. Fuck Black Rain.
We understand.
Nods to the two fellow Tennoyama people.
I feel like Black Rain would be a lot like Seattle. Just rainy and shitty all the time.
I mean, I'm not very familiar with American states to that extent, so I wouldn't know.
Well, yeah. Well, Seattle rains almost year-round and has the highest suicide rate of any city in America.
Any big city, anyways.
Cheery.
Yeah, any of the major cities. Yeah.
But
I
doesn't
know
It's
New
also
Jersey
kind of, it's also
exist?
kind of a shithole, especially after Antifa took over like part of the city.
Let's
Doesn't-
not go there.
Doesn't New Jersey exist though? How was the high suicide rates there?
New Jersey is
assume
awful,
so.
yes.
But I think the egos kind of outweigh the depression over there.
Fair, but yeah. So it's official. You're heading to Black Rain. Nice. This'll. I'll have to. Right. So you'd be given a week to prepare for anything for that.
Alright.
Anything
gonna
you want to
prep-
do?
I'm gonna prep poisons, just and anti-poisons, antidotes.
Gonna buy an umbrella.
There you go. Nice. Anyone else doing stuff?
I'm also going to send off a letter, but I need to actually compose what's in it, so I'll send you that after the session, Kado.
Yeah, that's fine. We can sort it out retroactively.
I
So,
think we should spend a little bit of time just talking with getting our things in order before we go.
if you want, we can do that right now. Just as like a thing, you know. So what would happen is you would be gathered together at the castle. Rua, Akrua, Kurogane. Actually, if you want, I'll type down the group who people are actually there. That'd be easier. Those are the major players who were there. And then a few of the council members as well, and stuff. Like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and stuff. So Rubus opens just saying, it's good to see everyone's here today. Thank you for coming as we are to prepare for the inquiry into the Ebon Wing organization that has taken root in Black Rain. We have been given written notes that we are allowed to scour the city, but there are limits. And if we do need to make deep inquiries into various things, we will have to work to getting a permit and a warrant. But otherwise, we are effectively allowed to go anywhere within the country. And no one can stop us. Does anyone have any questions they want to bring up?
No, I can't think of anything.
What's the extent of our abilities to legally operate?
In what way? Just as like an example so I know what to go off based on what you say.
if we can, or let's say there's someone who is very good at hiding their illegal operations, and we need to do some stuff.
It depends on the extent.
Because I have a feeling they're going to stonewall us, and we're going to have to act outside of parameters.
If they stonewall us, we have the support from other countries who are willing to help. Tenoyama especially. I've been in contact with Hayato, and he'd be willing to step in and effectively cause and he does in quotes, a unrelated diversion, so that we could effectively bust into whatever we needed to.
Okay.
But if they do stonewall us, we have a permit which should allow us inside. If they still refuse, then we are allowed to exercise force. Or at least I'm allowing force.
Sounds good. Just want to know what rules of engagement are before we go into this.
We're not marrying anyone. And he just grins.
Darren shakes their head.
Does anyone else have anything to ask?
No.
Not at this point.
Zaris actually does stand up and just say, so, if there's no more questions, or at least for now, the idea is, with you four, along with the king, you five and a group of some other soldiers who will be there for help will pass through here, and he basically would open up the map. The idea would be is you would pass... Oh god. The idea is you would pass through the country as per normal, nothing special, and then you would have to go through to the crossroads area, and then once you do, pass through Tenoyama, and head into Black Rain at the border.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
we be able to either take a boat through the neutral point, like kind of through that area, or...
I was getting to that actually, but
Oh,
good
really?
to know
Oh,
that
sorry.
some
No,
people
then
are
continue.
considering
Don't
that.
let me interrupt.
It's fine. And then, of course, we will pass through the country into Rainwall. There we will begin the full investigation and work in separate groups in various teams. We will be keeping in full contact with Sending Zone, and we will also be keeping in contact with Centralis so they can send our crew in if the worst comes to worst. The idea is we don't want him with us so that it doesn't create too many waves and so that our hand isn't shown completely. We want them to think that he is going to stay in Centralis, and if he is the trump card, then he's going to take a while to get here. Of course, that not being the case. And Turim raises a hand as Zaris points to them. Turim here has fashioned us a teleport point one way. Turim will teleport Akura into Rainwall, and there he will do his thing if need be.
What are the odds they have anti-magic countermeasures?
Turim actually just stands up and says, this is a 9th level power teleportation. Only something of that equal level should stop it.
Okay.
And if they're using that much to hold us back, well, then we're already probably screwed.
Yes. I guess the question becomes, you know, to what extent are we gonna let them? How are they gonna dance now? I guess.
Brewer just says, I'm in the opinion that we're not letting them push us around. They've already killed innocent people and targeted a lot of us and caused a lot of problems, even to their own government. Regardless of my feelings on some of the people in that government, they're still bringing in innocents that shouldn't be brought in.
We need to ensure that we're also not causing too much strife amongst the populations. We shouldn't turn this into an inquisition.
Well, if populace are to be involved, then I would say if slaves happen to be released in the crossfire, as he gives a smile, then that's just an unfortunate accident. It's not the populace's fault that some freedom fighters happened to free the slaves in the chaos and brought them into Cordis or other countries to give them the help they need.
Felix
I like the way
smirks at
you
this.
Oh, that's clever.
A related question: what's the current sentiment of the general public towards the Blackvein government?
From here, or in general?
Within Blackbrain.
Within Blackvein.
I mean, from what I would imagine, if I was a slave and told that a slave owner was dead, I wouldn't be losing sleep.
I mean, currently, what's the current political climate? Is it
Pretty
tense?
stable, from what I know.
Okay.
Testament is keeping a very close eye on everything and is doing very well to be liked amongst his peers.
Okay.
He's the youngest mayor of Blackgrain they've had in decades.
Yes. My question. There might be a question of whether or not we can stoke some chaos if need be.
I mean, we're already causing a scene. From what I've heard with Tenoyama, it was asked, in quotations, kindly, that Hayato leave the country and not cause any more of a stir, as there was going to be a war breaking out. And
I
in the
also wanted
interest of
We also
serving
wanted
the
to be
innocent-
sure.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's also making sure that we're not running into a full-on revolt.
I mean, if there's going to be,
Fun.
if there's going to be a revolt, it'll be in the case of when we have to storm the Imperium, if and when we have to for that piece of Dracolich. If we don't end up doing it while we're there, as we have the perfect inn.
Yes, just trying to make sure all our options are open.
I know. Hopefully, as well, we could find out more about this Drake Blackburn. Maybe get a look of them, and then, of course, we could use that maybe to our advantage if we could find them ourselves. If we can force the Ebon Wing out and in talks with us, then that would be a great thing for us, because they're already having to come out and meet us on our level. And if they try to threaten us, well, he just gestures to his grandfather.
Has it been decided what these groups are going to be that we split up into?
Well, the idea was we were going to do separate groups. One group, we actually just gestures to Seamus, as he was saying, the group that isn't ours will be arriving into the country by boat. So of course they'll be heading from here to the neutral point, meeting at the docks, and then heading into Rainwall. We will be on foot, heading through the country, going through, heading to Crossroads, getting to here of course, to the border, into Blackrain, and then at Rainwall. The idea is we want the other group to touch base first, because we would be the more high-profile group.
Right.
The idea of us being more high-profile is that then the smaller group can be less bothered. In theory, anyway. Zaris, however, he gestures to Zaris, is actually going with them to look after them, along with Jade and a few other people you might recognise. The idea is, though, I want us all to be on our best behaviour, although I can understand some frustrations. The thing is, I don't want Blackrain to turn their ire against us any more than they already have. If only just because, well, I'm worried they might be in cahoots with Bovetman. Not with this whole thing in general, but they might work together. And I don't want a knife at our back while we're already meeting a knife at the front, you know?
Yes.
like, thankfully, Kolodnia Pole and Tenoyama are on our side, but that still doesn't help with, Bo Vetman's unfortunately superior naval force to us,
Yes.
because they do actually have a better navy, and if they did attack us by sea, well, it's not that we'd be screwed, more just that they have more. Their tactics are more predisposed to naval combat compared to our navy.
Yes.
Ideally, though, once we do touch in Rainwall, we are going to meet with the embassy of Cordis, and that is where our base would be. The idea will be if we ever have to travel late at night, we would be doing it in fairly numerous groups. Although it might give us away, it's also just less dangerous. We would be effectively in the heart of our enemy, and we can't afford to let them get a step up on any of us if we can help it.
Hmm. Alright. Does that cover everything then?
Unless anyone else has anything else to say.
Not particularly, no.
Nope. Let's get to it.
Tarim does raise a hand and he actually says, since you two, Aldane and Darren, both have your, your weapons,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be ideal if you can notify us as soon as you feel any pings.
Yes, I still have a sending stone from Kuro. We should probably be given. We'll notify you as soon as we're aware of anything.
Thankfully,
Agreed.
Kuro does say, Guy is going with you guys. Well, not your group specifically, but the other group. And he has sending.
As do I.
Check
And
in
of,
this.
course, and of course, Turim has sending. And I know you do as well, Felix, right? So we can all keep within sendings that way. We can use the items, of course, the sending stones. It's also just a bit awkward and cumbersome because unfortunately sending stones don't travel to each other as a group. It's just to the specific pairs. And the problem is if... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, regardless, we have ways to contact each other as need be.
Yeah. And thankfully Akura here, as he gestures to the man, has means of also contacting us and has various other things that can help with stuff like that.
So
And,
all in all, looks like we're pretty prepared for this.
Riro just nods. We'll be leaving as soon as possible, preferably before the end of the week, if we can. But if we need to prepare, that is more than fine. I can completely understand. Before we go,
Yes.
though, and he does look to you guys, and he holds up the Moonblade. If you remember, my Moonblade can store spells. I was hoping before we sleep tonight, if some of you could cast spells into the weapon so I can use them.
Certainly.
I don't really
Which
have
one
much
do you
to
want
offer.
from me? I could give you.
I can only hold up to 3 spells at a time.
I'd recommend you get one from, at least one from Akura.
Akura already nodded. I'm giving him Revivify.
Smart.
I can offer you. Shatter Heat Metal if you want.
What can you give, Aldane?
I can give you some smites, or if you'd prefer a more support-oriented spell, I have a few of those.
What do you
I
have?
do also have Healing Word, which might help.
Healing Word would actually be very good.
Okay, so I'll give him healing word. Should I cast that like third level for him so it could be
I
a
was-
third level spell, or
I was gonna say, depending on the level, depends on what level it comes out as. So if you were to do a 9th level healing word, for example, that's what it would come out as.
okay, so I'll give
And
him
you
a
are-
third level
you are-
healing word in that case.
You are long resting, but I would say still take the slot out. Just you don't know what might happen.
Just to remind myself. Well, are we? By the way, are we ending the session pretty soon?
We're gonna be ending the session soon. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
I can offer Witch Bolt, Chromatic Orb, Counter Spell, Sending or Slow.
Counterspell might not be a bad idea,
Counterspell would be really good.
because that way he has an attack. Well, no, he's got he's got Revivify. So did I even need to give him healing word?
Healing word is
Healing word
still
helps.
useful.
Healing word helps to bring someone up from being KO'd.
Mm,
Because if
So-
you're KO'd,
in that case, maybe give him a combat spell.
you won't need
He's
it
got,
really
he's got
too
two
much.
support spell. Oh yeah,
Because
that's
the
true.
thing
He already
is
is
that-
kinda...
Even after he casts them, you guys could still, in between fights and rests, give him spells on top anyway.
That's true.
Because he's getting one set of diamonds, because unless anyone else can cast Revivify, he only has one use. And he's not allowed to get more than one of the same spell. So he can't have 3 Revivifies and cheese fights.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we won't need Revivify, but I guess we'll find out.
I mean, if you have to storm the Imperium, you don't know what to expect. So having
That's
that
true.
safety net is always helpful.
Hmm.
But yes, unless anyone has anything else they want to add or say, we can call this a session. And next session will be heading to Black Rain, which will be very
Yeah.
fun. I've actually
Yay,
it's one, of
plot.
the, it's one of the countries I've worked on the most.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun time.
No, I don't think so.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All
Right.
set.
That is the end of the sesh.
Sweet.
Okay, which means it is also the end of the stream. I hope everyone has enjoyed watching. We certainly enjoyed participating. Tuesday is looking more and more likely it's going to be Psychonauts 2, which is going to be a lot of fun because it is a very fun game. I'm enjoying it immensely. Thursday, again, would you be available for Civ?
Should be, yeah.
So we should be able to finish off Civ on Thursday. Saturday, I believe, is Shonen Protagonists, which is going to be a lot of fun to discuss. And then, obviously, next Sunday will be the continuation of this. And Summer Felix gets to go to Black Rain, which is going to go horribly. But, as
That's
always...
fine, it's all good.
As always, please give us a follow on Twitch and Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and otherwise, we'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
Later.